stating the sessions that they would love to join and how. It's good that, we have that, clear difference, right? But, this class and this session would also be very interactive, right? And yes, I know that we'll not be building AI model from scratch or anything like that. That doesn't mean our session will be boring, right? We'll be working with models too. We'll be creating AI agents as well. But the beautiful thing is that we don't have to go through the stress that they will be going through, right? Because we would have the help of Copilot helping us drive some of this initiative, right? So once again, my name is Femi. My name is Oluwafemi Olujare, but you can call me Femi. Nigerians call me Femi. Ghanaians call me Kofi. I don't have a South African name yet. I don't have a Kenyan name yet, but Femi Kofi definitely do. Right? So before we go right into this, I believe we've been briefed on what this course is about and what this course entails. And I think I should also mention that I have some of my colleagues who would also, be taking us on this journey for the next 6 months. I believe we'll do this once, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I believe I have my colleagues on the call as well, right? So trust me, you're all in great hands, right? You're all in great hands, right? So I believe everybody on this call, we've heard of AI before, right? Everybody, I know we're not new to AI. Who's following the current AI words? Who's following the current AI word? Let me see on the chat. Who's following the current AI word? If you're following it, let me see. I'm on the chat. Who's following the current AI word? What's your projection? What is your projection? You're testing them all. DeepSeek. What is your projection? That's it. I know you're testing them, but what do you think your projection is? Do you think DeepSeek would outrun ChatGPT, Gemini, and the likes? What's your projection? For the people who have tested DeepSeek, what is your projection? Anybody? Oh, Stella says yes. She thinks DeepSeek will. ChatGPT seems to be ahead. Okay. Who else? Who's following it? Who's following the AI words? Any other person? I see Stella. I see Richard are staying ahead of. I am Augustine as well. So whose side are you on? Are you for China or are you for US? I would have loved to say, are you for Nigeria? But we've not developed something substantial to battle with the giants. Right? Richard says it's in USA. It's in USA. It's in China. Hopefully we'll get to Nigeria soon, right? Hopefully we'll get to Nigeria soon. Probably in the next 20 to 30 years. I'm joking, right? I'm joking. All right, beautiful. Good. ChatGPT made a good pioneer move. Good. But the Chinese are really so true. Right? So now let's get right into it, right? Today we'll be talking about introduction into, I'll be ushering you into this session. And so that I don't forget, I would also want to, let's give some accolades. I know we've done, but let's also give some accolades to the team, Transformation College. I mean, this initiative is a very, very brilliant one, ensuring that everyone in Nigeria has access to free education. It's a very, very bold statement and it's a very bold move, right? So a round of applause to Transformation College for this brilliant initiative. Right, I've met everybody. I read through the comments. I saw your names. I saw where some people were, commenting or joining us from. Nice to meet everybody. Right, nice to meet everybody. I'm Nigerian, but I operate and live out of Ghana. And I'll be the one test running or kicking off this program. And it's been nice, for you all to follow me on this. Right, good. Before we proceed, everybody, what do you feel AI is? In your own definition, please, in your own definition. No, don't stress us with textbook, or don't use GPT to answer me now. You get to the point where I use GPT to answer me. But what do you think AI is? Everybody, what do you think AI is? Anybody, what's your own definition? I want you to personalize it. What do you think AI is? I'm looking at the chat. What do you think AI is? AI is like an automated brain. Thank you very much. That's one. My own word, AI is my bestie. Thank you very much, Esther. I love how you personalized it. AI is my bestie. That's very good. AI is like an assistant, trained alternative intelligence. Thank you very much, Stella. Computerized PA. I love that word. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? It is an assistant tool and it helps in all. Thank you very much. I love how everyone is personalizing this. I love how everyone is personalizing this. Right? I love how everyone is personalizing it. Using technology to make work easy. AI is the class of intelligence. That's also good. AI is my human imitator. I like that because it's been programmed to mimic our intelligence. It doesn't actually have an intelligence of its own, but it's been programmed to mimic our intelligence. I love that. Thank you very much, Oluwatobi. Wasilet says programmed intelligence. Thank you very, 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 very much. AI is a great help to humanity. Beautiful. I agree that, with this, I believe we can say AI is here to stay. AI is not going anywhere. AI has been here since what, the 1970s, 1970s, 1980s, right? And since then, I know some of us, we heard about AI probably in the last 3, 5, 10 years, right? For some of us, right? But we know AI is here to stay. And if you think very, very well, right, you'd have seen AI in the past. I know everyone here, how many of us saw the movie iRobot? How many of us saw the movie iRobot? I know the protagonist was a humanoid, but the antagonist was what? Built off of AI, right? How many of us? Thank you very much. So indirectly, we've all seen what? We've all interfaced, or we've all, been aware subconsciously, right, of the concept of what? AI. We've all been aware subconsciously of the concept of AI, right? Yeah, you guys remember these guys, right? Very, very important. Very, very important, right? So now what is AI? What is AI? Like everyone has mentioned, the ability for a computer system to perform tasks that require what? Human intelligence, right? It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind, right? We've given a machine the ability to mimic human intelligence. Doesn't mean it has its own, doesn't mean it has its own intelligence. It mimics the intelligence of us humans, right? It's very, very important that we understand. We've got into the realm whereby we've developed what? Computer systems to perform what? Tasks for us. Tasks primarily that will require human knowledge or human intelligence to do. Right? We've not primarily got into the age of Sonny, right? When I say Sonny, I think that was this guy's name, right? It was Sonny. Who remembers? I think it was Sonny. I'm not too sure. I think it was Sonny. I can't fully remember his name, but I believe it was Sonny, right? So good. We've not, typically got into the era or the stage of Sonny, right? We've not got into a stage whereby AI can, can have super intelligence to the point whereby it also has cognitive superiority. We've not gotten to that stage yet. But who knows? Anything is possible in this age and time. The next 20, in the next 15, 20 years, hopefully. I doubt it. I don't know. Who knows, right? The future is uncertain. Who knows? We've not got into the age of Sonny yet, but we've got into the age whereby we have lots of, AI solutions that help us with our day-to-day activity, right? And, we can't, say that AI is not disrupting the flow of operation in this age and time. I mean, AI is changing our work routine. AI is changing our work routine. That's why it's very, very important that as analysts, right, you need to stay ahead of the curve. You need to stay ahead of the curve. the cost of not exploring AI at this age and time, the cost of not exploring AI in your activities, in your deliverables, will lead to what? Irrelevance. The cost of not exploring AI. When I mean exploring AI, I mean not integrating AI to your daily activities, would what? Would lead to what? Irrelevance. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. AI will not replace you. Let's be realistic. Right? AI will not replace you. Lack of curiosity as an individual will replace you. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. Your lack of curiosity will be the one that replaces you. What do I mean by that? Our jobs won't just vanish, right? I know people will be saying it here and there. You know, AI will take our jobs, blah, 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 this, that. Trust me, it has the possibility that it has the tendency of doing so. Right? I mean, you see what Amazon has done. It has replaced lots of people with what? Robotics. With what? AI. Right? Very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. But our jobs won't just vanish. Right? Our jobs will not just vanish. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. But our jobs will probably just dissolve. What do I mean by that? You need to start thinking about, instead of thinking about role replacement, you need to start thinking about task replacement. You know what will happen? You know what I see in the foreseeable future? Right? What I see in the foreseeable future is this. Organizations will start redefining roles or tasks. They will redefine roles and tasks. So it's very, very important that as an organization, you need to stay ahead of the curve. Very, very important. How can you stay ahead of the curve? And that's why we're here. You have to think about it. That as an organization, as an individual working in an organization, you know, how can I use AI to make my job more, you know, how can I be more productive with AI? And I'll show you some of these things here. As an individual, I can use Microsoft Copilot. Please permit me to say that, you know, most of the things that we'll be discussing here will be primarily tilted towards Microsoft. All right, you know, because Microsoft is a pioneer for low-code development. And that's why primarily for this particular session, we will be talking about Microsoft and Copilot. Please, that doesn't mean that we won't also have discussions about, you know, other AI giants, right? We will have lots of discussions about that. But it's very, very important that you know that because of what? Microsoft being the front runner for what? Low-code development, right? I believe everyone here knows when we say low-code development, everyone here. When we say low-code development, what do we mean? Anybody, let me see it on the chat. When we say low-code development, I believe you probably have heard it before. When you say low-code development, what do you think we mean? What do you think we're talking about? Low-code development. Try, please. This session, basic you can need to run anything. Okay, Michael, okay, I'm trying to understand the basic right? Thank you, Philip. Minimal coding or even no code at all to an extent. Development that requires little or no coding. Thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you very, very much, Tochukwu. Microsoft is like what you cannot do without in your organization. Well, I've seen organizations operate without Microsoft. Yes, trust me, I've seen organizations that they don't even use Microsoft at all. Yes, I've seen. So I don't think I agree with Microsoft being, you know, but the ecosystem, Microsoft ecosystem is something that you can't battle against. Yes, I agree, right? That I agree. But saying that Microsoft, I don't typically agree with that. But yes, thank you very much. Tochukwu said assisted development. Okay, good. Assisted development is what I mean. Beautiful, and that's what we'll be talking about here. I will show you some samples with regards to that, right? As an individual, you can create processes at the click of a button, at the input of a prompt. It's as simple as that, and that's what we'll be talking about today. I know that primarily not everyone within the organization has access, not everyone on this call has access to, or better see, what I want to say is not everyone on this call uses Copilot within the organization, right? Or uses Microsoft 365. Or better say, let's do a survey. Let's do a survey, right? If you utilize Microsoft 365 within the organization, that's if you're currently employed. If you currently use Microsoft 365, just within the chat section, let me see yes, 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 yes. And if you're currently within if you're currently not working, if you've interfaced or leveraged Microsoft 365 before, also put yes, yes, yes. Let me see everybody on the chat. Let me see everybody on the chat. Yes, we use a couple different AI. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Jirashi says yes. Good. Even if it's for secretaries to type letters, yes, we use Microsoft. I love that. I love that, Michael. I love that. I love that. I love that. So what you probably have is a Microsoft productivity solution, right? For you to leverage Copilots and the likes, you need to use the software as a service version, which is Microsoft 365 or Office 365, right? Ellen says, yes, I've used Office 365 before. Beautiful, 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 right? It means that what we'll be talking about and, the demos that we'll probably run will probably not even be new. And even if it's new to everybody, trust me, it's simple and it's straightforward that I believe everyone on this call will follow. We don't use it as my current place of work, but I've used it before. Beautiful. Even if you've not used it before, right? Trust me, it's not something so hard that we can't follow. Do you get? So don't worry, don't stress about it. We're all in good hands. We're all in good hands. Very, very important. So as you can see, we've defined what AI is. Someone said my personal bestie. Someone said my personal assistant. Right? It's very, very important that we know that what AI is not going anywhere. Let's do another survey. Let's do another survey, a quick survey. Right? If you utilize the likes of ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek, if you utilize this at least 3 times a week, at least 3 times a week to carry out daily activities, let me see your yes on the chat box. Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie. If you utilize, yeah, I did a yes in capital letter. Yes, daily, in fact. Thank you very much, Dochuku. Thank you very, very much. Daily. So it's very, very important that we understand that AI is here to stay. And once we have that, once we know that at the back of our mind, it means that the next thing that we should have at the top of our mind is how we stay ahead of the curve. And what do I mean? How can we do that? How can we ensure that we stay ahead of the curve? Number one, exploration, very, very important. Exploration. Wasiliat says yes once in a while. That is also not bad at all, right? That's also not bad at all. So this is what we expect you to start doing as an individual, right? You need to start adopting it. You need to start exploring it. You need to start experimenting with AI, right? These are certain things that we need to take into consideration, right? As an individual, or better still, as analysts within our organization, by default, right? I expect you to have what? An improvement mindset. Or I expect you to take an improvement approach to anything within the organization, right? I expect you to take an improvement approach to everything within the organization. And one of the ways that you will take this within your organization is to understand how AI can help you within the organization. Now we're taking this from the context of what? A BA, a business analyst. What is a BA? Who's a BA? Let me put it that way. So that we at least understand the integration and how we then integrate most of these things. What do you think a BA is? If you've heard of the role BA, business analyst, let me see your yes on the chat. If you've heard of the role business analyst, let me see your yes on the chat. And if you are a business analyst, type yes, I am, or that's if you are a business analyst, right? But if you've heard of the role BA, let me see your yes in the chat. Let me see your yes in the chat. Let me see your yes in the chat. Right? Perfect, perfect, perfect. The reason why also, yes, I've had the role of a BA. Yes, I'm a business analyst. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You know, I was having a conversation with one of my senior colleagues, right? He works for one of the big banks in Nigeria now. I mean, he is an SBA, senior business analyst. And, you know, we're having a conversation about, you know, how AI has improved its processes significantly, right? How AI has improved the processes significantly. Now let me ask another question. Do you think in the next 5 to 10 years, thank you very much, Chukuma, a BA is a change enabler in an organization, identify business needs, opportunities, and what? Recommend solution. Thank you very, very, very much for that, right? So good. Let me now throw this question to you. Do you think AI can take your role as a BA in the next 5, 10 years? Do you think AI can take your role as a BA? Do you think AI can take your role as a BA? No, thank you. No, not sure. No, no, no. Most likely, Ruth says most likely. Let me see, keep it coming, keep it coming. Do you really think, most likely, most likely, most likely? Okay, okay, okay. For the people who said no, let me see. Not anytime soon. I love that response. Because it work, it won't, it needs me. I love that. Because it work, it won't, it needs me, and I need it. Partnership. Thank you very much. This is brilliant. I love this. Thank you very much. No. Yes, if I do nothing to develop myself in the AI world. Okay, okay. No, no, this is because it will need some. Thank you very much, Phillips. Thank you very much, Phillips. I was looking for that. I was looking for that post. Good, 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 good. AI is a PSPA. I love that. I love that. I love that. Right. So in layman terms, right, you know, BA is more like a proxy between the IT and the business, right? When I say proxy, I just mean the intermediary, right, between IT, right, and the business. Helps analyze processes, identify needs, and also recommend solutions, like we've seen earlier, right? You know, there is a heavy part whereby, you know, as a BA, well, human intervention would already come in. And as at now, right, AI hasn't developed to the point whereby I believe it will take the job of a BA outrightly. I don't think so at this age and time, right? With the AIs that we have, right? But as at now, right, we don't know if they will probably create a super intelligent AI in the next 10, 15, 20 years, right? We don't know if they will do that in the next 15, 20 years. But as at now, I really doubt it, right? So let's get right into the course for today. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. I didn't really take you with regards to the course content for today. Permit me to just run through the course content of today. I want us to be fired up with respect to what we'll be doing and how we'll be approaching this going forward, right? So this is what we'll be talking about today, right? This is everything we intend to look at today. Please, I will ensure the slides will be made available to everybody. I believe so. Hope I haven't. I believe so. I'll confirm from Edith, and then whatever she says I will do, then I will definitely go ahead to do. Right. So these are certain things that I want to talk about. The next 2 hours, right? In the next 2 hours, I'll try my best not to rush anything, you know, so that, you know, everybody's on the same page, and so that, you know, we get this very interactive and very fun, and then, you know, I get you hyped up for the next 5 months. Because trust me, my colleagues are also coming, and they'll also definitely kill this, right? So now let's get right into the course content of Now let's get right into the course content for today. Have you guys seen this? Has anybody heard of Shan? Shan is what? An AI business analyst. Imagine the description they now put. I can create business analysis reports. Trust me, there's a lot to business analysis than just reporting. Reporting is an aspect to it, but you just creating business analysis reports. Trust me, you can't take the job of a BA by just doing solely that, right? So it's very, very important. Apparently, I went to check this out. I saw it on Gartner. I went to check this out, and they brought out the page, right? Probably because it didn't move very well. Thank you very, very much, Jafar. I love that. Thank you very, 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 very much. Right? You can't do that without what? Human intervention. Trust me, it can. We can only leverage it to make the process more efficient and effective. Thank you very much, Jafar. Right? So, these are certain things that we need to ensure that we take into consideration. Right? And now let's get right into the course content for today. Right? Now we're talking about what AI is. We've discussed AI, right? We said you should think of what? So AI as a what? As a brain, a robot brain that can do anything that, that can do some things that humans can do. Like they can think, right? They can solve simple problems. They can carry out, certain tasks. They're just very, very smart computers that we have created, right? It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. We've given them the ability to mimic human intelligence. Right? We've created them by feeding them with what? Lots of data to work with. Right? We've trained them effectively, right? To carry out certain tasks and to solve certain problems. Right? So it's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. We've created it to simulate human intelligence. Right? We've created it to simulate human intelligence, right? It's very, very important. And we have different types of AI, right? We have different types of AI. We have a lot and a lot, right? Categorically, we have 3 different categories. We have the narrow AI, right? Which are AI systems that are practically designed to carry out specific tasks, right? And that's the category that we are currently utilizing across board, right? That's the category that we're currently utilizing. We have general AI, right? We have something called general AI as well, right? This is still theoretical, right? They say in this stage, you will not be able to differentiate between a machine and a human being, right? It means they will have consciousness. Like, like we said earlier with the movie iRobot. It means we'll be getting to the stage of what the movie iRobot, right? And then we have super intelligent AI as well. At this stage, they say that, okay, we're going to the stage whereby AI will be what? More superior with respect to thinking than humans. But right now, as humans, we're currently limited, or we're currently within the stage of the narrow AI. That's what they practically call known as the weak AI. We've not gone into the stage of the general AI, and we've not gone into the stage of the super intelligent AI. But trust me, we will get there, right? We will get there in the next if we're projecting probably in the next 15, 20 years, hopefully we'll get there. Some people are fighting against us getting there because we don't want the same thing that happened within the movie iRobot to also happen, whereby they take consciousness, whereby, oh, definitely, Augustine, you can refer to Edith. Edith would be the best person to respond to this. So just chat Edith up. Whatever she says, I'll definitely do. Right? We've not gotten to that stage yet, but trust me, there's every tendency that we will get there. And when we get there, yes, we can then now start talking about AI taking virtually everybody's job, right? But we've not gotten into that stage yet. And I doubt in the next 20, 25 years, if we'll get, I'm not sure, there's every possibility that we can get there, but, I don't know, right? And, like I said here, we won't be talking about, building AI models from scratch, Okay, the slides will be shared on the WhatsApp group. So everybody, this thank you very, very much, Jafar. Right. So the it's a very, very brilliant, beautiful animation, right? You guys can also check that out. All right, good. Yes, so the slides will be shared within the WhatsApp channel. So I just got that notification on the chat, right? And then we have, some subsets of, AI, right? Which is Gen AI, generative AI, right? This has the ability to create what? Fresh content, right? As the name implies, generative AI, right? Has the ability to create new things, right? Has the ability to write new stories, the likes of the ChatGPT, has the ability to create logos for you, right? We've used Microsoft Designer, we've all used the DALL-E to create images, right? We've also seen this in action, right? I believe everyone here, if you're very entertainment savvy, right? We saw the issue with the top two prominent rappers in the US. One is a US citizen, one's a Canadian citizen. And there was a point whereby, the generative AI was used to create what? A rap song about, they used the generative AI to create a song, right? And that was used as clickbait for the other rapper. And then, shots fired everywhere. They got into things. So this is something that we currently interface with. We currently interface with what? Generative AI. I mean the ChatGPT that we use generative AI, right? Everyone here at some point has written to help me. What does a business analyst process entails? Can you get right into details? But you have to be very specific when using this, right? That's where prompt engineering comes into play. You have to know how to write some of those prompts effectively and efficiently, right? That is why Dr. requested that you go utilize that particular training session, right? So Gen AI, we leverage this day-to-day activity. This is something that we use. This is something that we integrate, right? The likes of ChatGPT, the likes of DeepSeek, the likes of Copilot, all of these words are generative AI. They have the ability to create new things, right? Unlike the traditional AI that, we had primarily, whereby we feed in lots of data and it can, help us pinpoint certain things, identify a cat, identify who a dog is, identify, we fed a lot of pictures about birds. We can insert a bird, which bird is this? It will give us the name of the bird, right? But when it comes to generative AI, it has the ability to what? To create new things, right? So it can write poems. I've used generative AI a lot of times to come up with, love messages for my wife. I have done that a lot of times. We can't keep up with the trend, coming up with new messages daily. That's why we have to always leverage our AI assistants to do all the work for us in some situations, right? That was just me joking or fooling around, right? But these are certain things that we need to understand. We need to understand this concept as we proceed. We need to understand these concepts as we proceed. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. And it's also very, very important for us to note that we can't talk about AI without talking about some, fundamental practices, right? We can't talk about AI without mentioning some fundamental practices or principles, right? The foundation of AI, you need to talk about data science, you need to talk about machine learning, you need to talk about deep learning, right? And these are certain things that we would also take into consideration, as we proceed, right? You can't talk about AI without talking about the backbone of AI, right? You can't talk about AI without, leveraging or talking about the backbone of AI, which is data science, right? Which is data science. But when we get there, we'll talk about it in detail. So these are the giants, right? These are the giants. These are the giants. Which one did I miss? I heard Alibaba Cloud is saying that they are better than DeepSeek. Who has tested Alibaba's GPT? Who on this call has tested Alibaba's GPT? Anybody? Oh, I didn't put Gemini. I'm sorry, I didn't put Gemini. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Richard. I
Hello, Femi, are you there? We can't hear you. Okay, please, let's be patient. Let's try to get him back on the call. I think it's a
I am
network.
so sorry, you. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? I hope I'm audible.
Yes, welcome back.
All right. I don't know. M10 is trying to get me as usual. All right. Let me share my screen. Let me know when you can still see my screen, and then we just proceed. Let me know when you see my screen, and then we'll probably just proceed. Is it up and running, or do I have to log off and log back in? Sim, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Awesome. Now let's proceed, right? Right. These are just, the giants when we talk about AI. I probably have missed some, right? Permit me, I probably missed some. I probably didn't put everything there. But thank you very much. Okay, Stella says Alibaba screen works well. Awesome. We use Meta. I haven't used that in a while. But yes, right? Yes, we know that these are the giants. When we talk about Morenike, you're raising your hand. Does that mean you have a question? I can see you're raising your hand. Oh, okay. Oh, Morenike. Oh, probably that was a mistake. All right, good. All right. Good. Meta's responses on WhatsApp are pretty much, to be honest, I hardly use it. Meta's, they need to work. Trust me, I don't even think Meta is in the top dog when we talk about, to me, personally, that's from my own perspective, right? That's from my own perspective. I hardly even use it. But now let's proceed, right? But these are certain things that we take into consideration, right? You can't carry out your processes effectively without at least leveraging this. Please don't get me wrong as well. I'm not saying that you should now lack the sense of reasoning, that that you now depend and rely solely on everything that is being fed to you, right? And that's where I always put my foot down with respect to this. Some people have gotten to the stage whereby they blindly they blindly just we're not saying that for every thing, but for every logical thought you should just go to ChatGPT. No, I don't recommend it, right? So don't get yourself to the point whereby, oh, my bad, Rick, I'm very, very sorry. Are you far from the mic? I'm not far from the mic. Can you hear me now? Is it better, Rick? Am I audible? Can you hear me? All right, awesome. Rick, if it's still happening like that, then probably it's not from my end. Rick, can you please just check it? I don't think it's from my end, but please just, if it's still happening, can probably just log off and log back in. All right. So, like I was saying, I'm going to a point whereby, or people are going to the point whereby they blindly follow. I don't agree. I believe AI should be a tool for you to use. I don't think it should replace your logical thinking, right? I'm totally against that. And that's why, when I see, for some team members, for some people that work with, when I ask you to create a process document for me for a particular client, and you put it into you ask ChatGPT, we all know the output, right? Primarily, we know how ChatGPT will construct this process. Even if you try to write it as a human for you, how would a human approach it? Trust me. We'll still know that, okay, you've not clearly given thought into some of these things, right? And that's where I believe for most organizations, for most individuals using this, AI or probably GPT shouldn't probably take away logical thinking, right? There are areas whereby you also need to, search the web for yourself, ask for references for some of the inputs that it is giving you and read through those references, right? See how updated, how up-to-date the information, by checking some of the references, right? So these are certain things that we need to ensure that we take into consideration, because I read a particular post. I don't want to jump the gun, right? I'll soon show you down the line that, AI can cheat. I read a post on LinkedIn by an industry expert when it comes to AI, right? And he said, do you know AI can cheat? And do you know AI can lie? And do you know AI can hide its intentions? Do you know it's tested? There's a survey on it, and there are use cases for that. But when we get there, we'll also talk about that in detail. We will get there later in the slide, so don't let me jump the gun. But it's very, very important, that we have that at the back of our mind. And it's also very, very important for us not to just limit the scope of what we utilize and how we utilize it. I mean, there are lots of people in this age and time. In fact, not all of them are even developers, right? That are integrating. Thank you very much. AI can even make errors. Thank you very, very much, right? So it's very, very important that we note some of these things, right? And it's also very, very important that we don't limit it, right? I see most of the times we just limit it to the likes of the ChatGPT. No, let's not limit ourselves with respect to that. Trust me, Copilot can do a lot for me, right? On Microsoft, because primarily for me as someone works in an organization that is heavily dependent on Microsoft's ecosystem, right? On Microsoft's ecosystem. We would attend to that. So it's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. For me, as someone works in an organization who is heavily reliant on the Microsoft ecosystem, it makes my work easy, right? Because instead of, I have a Word document and I want to create PowerPoint presentation from that, I can feed the PowerPoint presentation to my Copilot because, I'm using the ecosystem. I'm using the paid, not primarily, my license comes with the Copilot assistant, but for the Copilot Studio, you have to pay extra fee for that. But for the Copilot assistant that I have within my ecosystem, it makes my work easy, right? I can easily upload a Word document and ask it, okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? Help me create a PowerPoint presentation from this. It will do that for me. And it's virtually integrated with all the Microsoft 365 applications. Not all, but primarily, majorly of all, I can see some of the charts, right? Stella is saying that the disclaimer is already stated, so true, right? So true, so true, so true. Richard says, is it true that top companies are still relying on experienced consultants and not AI itself? Definitely. Not if we were to do a survey, right? We would say that if we were to do a survey with respect to most organizations, whilst you're working with experienced consultant, I would say it's over 60% at this age and time. But trust me, there will still be a time whereby that will probably change. The dynamics of that will definitely change. But as at now, yes, I'll say over 60% of organizations are still leveraging on experienced consultants. For example, let me give you an example, right? I was implementing, we're implementing a particular standard, right, in alignment to GRC. And we wanted to get a GRC tool, right, a GRC solution. Because, we had this boss that, they've integrated the AI and the likes. And, the company wanted the company wanted to utilize a particular GRC solution, right? And upon, doing the POC, right, the proof of concept, whereby they had an experienced person come and work them through, okay, what's the process like, right? And they noticed that, not all this thing is fully automated. It's semi-automated because it's not fully integrated into the system. We still need to start inputting information. Okay, for them to audit a particular process, we will need to start going to upload certain documents, clicking yes or no. At the end of the day, they didn't really, they decided to still stick with the great consultants that they still have, right? But at the long run, as AI also develop, most of these things would also change. It's very, very important that we note that. There's a very, very important, we also have to always put that disclaimer that we foresee, right, that in the next, let's say 10, 15, 20 years, we might get to the point whereby we've developed a humanoid that has that has the being or the functionality of the super AI that will take our jobs. But another thing that people are not talking about is that not everybody can afford a humanoid. Not every business can afford a humanoid. Let's be realistic. It's not every business that will have the financial capacity to also jump on the trend. So yes, it might take some jobs, but primarily not all, right? And by me saying this, I'm not saying you should not limit yourself to companies that can afford to pay you, but please, it's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. So the reason why I have this here is so that we don't limit, ourselves to the concept of AI being just, ChatGPT and the likes. Trust me, I've seen organizations do amazing things. I've seen some organizations build and train. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind that, some organizations are doing amazing things with AI, right? Some organizations are creating agents, right? Agents within their ecosystem, AI agents within their ecosystem, right? To address certain needs within the organization, right? I was talking to a colleague of mine, and he's lead with respect to health and safety. And he said that, you know what I did, right? I created an agent with the Copilot Studio. They are heavily reliant on Microsoft 365 as well. And he said, would you believe that I created an AI or an AI agent within Copilot Studio that could give us information and insights on things around health and safety within the organization. So in the event of probably an incident, where's the nearest location of the first aid? The type of the agent, the AI agent, it will tell them the exact location. Oh, go to the first, it's on the first floor on the right beside this, right? Oh, this just occurred. Oh, there's a fire incident. What should we do? Oh, this. It gives them insights with respect to how they should approach it. That is how individuals are leveraging this within organization. And trust me, you can look within your environment. I mean, you're a business analyst, right? You're working with an organization, right? You can look into the environment and say, okay, you know what? I think I can create an AI agent that will make this particular process. Oh, thank you very much, Stella. We use this for credit analysis. Thank you very, 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 very much, right? Organizations have embedded this. And that is where you also come in. You need to have an improvement mindset. You need to take an improvement approach to things. That is how you stay relevant. Trust me, that is how you stay relevant. It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. You look at your process, you look at it very, very well, you do some introspection that based on this process, what can I do to improve this process? What can I do with the readily available models, right? And that's if you also have, the systems that, that gives you the ability to do some of these things. Very, very important. I know that some of us, we probably don't have the ability to work with AI agents. I mean, it's not readily available to you, but trust me, there are free solutions that we can also work with to help us achieve this, right? So as I was saying, it's very, very important that you as an individual look at your processes, look at your organization, and look at the best way that you can help improve a certain process. Identify where the bottlenecks are and look at how AI can help you, Now, these are things that people are doing. And I know that, if we look at it internally, right, we can see how and the best approach to handle this, right? The reason why I have this is so that we don't just limit our mindset to just the likes of, DeepSeek and the Chat GPT and let's just limit it to Gemini, asking questions and answers. There are a lot more that we can actually do with respect to this. And I want to, light that fire so that, I would also show samples on how I have approached it on Copilot, right? Low code, straightforward, easy. And then we'll just work on it together, right? Before we close out, right? It's very, very important. Now let us proceed so that at least we get insight with respect to all the relevant, foundational knowledge that, we should have. I told you earlier that, the foundation of AI, data science is something that we need to talk about whenever we mention AI, right? The other team, they'll probably be getting into this in details, but, we're not here to teach you how to build a model from scratch. No, but we'll definitely lay some, emphasis and some foundational background so that at least you can also, talk effectively, right, when it comes to some of these things, right? So it's very, very important that we understand some of this and have this at the back of our mind, right? Data science is the backbone of AI. Right? And we know what data science is for everyone who dabbled in computer science, computer engineering. I believe at some point we did this in school, right? So it's just in layman terms, right? Data science is just the process of, working with data, right? Structured or unstructured data and the likes. But if you want to label emphasis, we would say it's the process of collecting, refining, analyzing, and interpreting data to extract what? Meaningful insights. And we know that without data, AI is virtually useless. Because how then can you train it? Right? It's literally useless. And that is why that's why data science is very, very important. The time doesn't really work for me, unfortunately, struggling to pay attention. I'm very, very sorry, Chukuma. I'm very, very sorry about that. Right, but I know that, this should also be recorded, so you can always get back to it. And so sorry about that. That's another thing that AI doesn't have, emotional intelligence. I'm just joking. But I believe you can watch the replay. I believe this is recorded. So sorry about that once again. But let's proceed, right? So like I was saying, without data, AI is virtually useless because how then do you train it, right? How then can it learn and make certain predictions, right? So it's very, very important that we know that we have it at the back of our mind that, data science is what? Is the backbone of AI. And then we have machine learning, which is a branch of what? Artificial intelligence. So what does this do? From the name, machine learning, right? It's a branch of AI that allows the computer to learn from past experience. So it's constantly learning, right? It's constantly learning. Machine learning is the ability for what? For an AI to what? To learn from past experience. Or better, for a computer to learn from past experiences. And it's very, very important that you have that at the back of our mind. Right? Very, very important. So what happens in these situations is we will feed it lots of data, and then the algorithm will find patterns and will help it make better predictions with the new data. Right? It's very, very important. If you feed a particular model 1,000 pictures of dogs and cats, right? It then starts learning how the structure of cats work. Some will have whiskers, some don't have whiskers. It then tends to get or learn from some of the things or some of the data that it is being fed, right? And that's why it's very, very important for us to understand some of these processes, right? Very, very important that we understand some of these processes. We might likely not even throughout our life, and might likely not even have any reason to come and train certain AI models, right? But it's just very, very important, that we have this at the back of our mind, right? The same way, Netflix, everyone here, we watch, we have Netflix subscriptions. Let me say everyone here, I have Netflix subscriptions, and I know some people here would also have Netflix subscriptions as well, right? The recommendations, right, that it gives you based on your taste, or based on the movie that you watch, or based on the progression of, some of the movies I watch. Now, if you come to my Netflix, the first 3 suggestions I will give you is probably things related to Arcane, things related to probably anime, because that's what probably I love to watch. But for some others, based on the patterns and based on the progression of what you've done over time, it gives you recommendation and suggests movies that you might like, because it has learned from your patterns or from the movies that you watch. Then it makes certain suggestions for you, right? So that's how it primarily, that's how it works, literally, right? So it's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. And you see that in age and time, in industries like cybersecurity, in a financial environment, these are certain principles that, we leverage, right? Advanced threat protection, IDS, IPS solution, right? It looks through certain patterns and it knows what to stop and what not to stop. It knows traffics to cut off and the ones not to cut off, right? Because it understands the algorithms and it understands the patterns of thank you very, very much. YouTube, yes. Yes, also utilize that as well. Right? So these are certain things that, we also take into consideration. Right? So it's very, very important that we also understand and have that. Thank you very, very much. Right? It's good that we're all getting some of these concepts. Very, very important. Right? That's why my explore page will be definitely far different from your explore page. Right? So these are certain things that, we take into consideration, and is what we need to have at the back of our mind. I'm not saying that we should now go and start, on this, we should now go to understand the foundation of machine learning. Then you have to go to your last class. Right? Then you have to go to your last class. Then whereby you start talking about, certain programming languages like Python, R, C++, and the likes. Then you have to start talking about, the likes of the TensorFlow, the PyTorch, and all of those modalities, right? But for analysts, it's just very, very important for us to know how this works, because when it's time for you to work within a business domain that requires this, you know what's feasible and what's not feasible, right? So it's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. I was also having a conversation with an SBA yesterday. I was having a conversation with the SBA yesterday. That's my senior colleague, right? And it was giving me insights with respect to the new development that they're trying to do as a financial institution. And to me, it was mind-blowing. I can't say it, but it was mind-blowing. Talking about, they want to leverage augmented reality and all of those things. I want to see that in Nigeria. Trust me, I really want to see that. That's why we need to start thinking outside the box. As analysts, we need to start thinking outside the box. We need to know when some of these things will need to come in. Right? We need to know when some of these things should come in, when to, input and, ship in some of these things, right? To help organization achieve, certain objectives, right? And we also have what? Deep learning, which is also a subset of what? Machine learning. As the word implies, deep learning. The learning is very deep, right? Whereas deep learning is much more advanced. It's a much more advanced type of, machine learning. In this situation, this is a more advanced version of ML that works like what? The human brain. When I say works like the human brain, it uses artificial neurons to make certain decisions, right? And it's so powerful, and this is what we use in Tesla. Yes, Tesla uses this for the self-driving cars. right? And, for facial recognition, right? I believe you've also seen a situation whereby if you go to your iPhone, right? If you go to your iPhone, certain pictures, there's a thing that iPhone will do, that pictures whereby you snap with other people, it starts to recognize other people from your gallery. And when you click on a particular picture, then it starts pinpointing other pictures that those other relevant individuals are part of, right? So these are some of, the things and the approaches that, this will do for you, right? So it's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. And these are terminologies that, thank you very much, Stella. So these are terminologies that, we need to take into consideration. These are terminologies. How do you think for Tesla to understand that, okay, red means stop, yellow means go, to process in real time, it needs to do some form of what? Deep learning, and that's where these will come into play. It recognizes potholes, it recognizes pedestrians, right? For it to do that, it has to process millions of road images, and that's where this comes in, right? And it's very, very important that, we also understand how some of these things work, right? Very, very important, very, very vital for us to understand and have this at the back of our mind. So let us proceed, right? I've given examples of this already, right? But it's also very, very important that we know that I love this, because this just makes us know that it is not just within the IT space that, this has been leveraged. You can see it's been leveraged in hospitals. There are certain solutions now that, it says, thank you very much. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any disrespect to Samsung. Yeah. I'm not ready to go into the iPhone and Samsung was. There, Samsung can do it as well, right? Please, pardon me, right? Samsung can also do it as well, right? Sam, I can see is Sam. Is that a short form of Samsung? Do you want the Samsung? I can see the short form, but it's just metism, right? But it's very, very important that we at least understand the concept, right? And I love this example because it brings to light that, when we talk about AI and when we talk about the application of AI, it's not just limited to our IT environment and our IT space. In the medical industry, in the food business, trust me, right? In manufacturing, right? It's very, very important that we note that what the application of AI revolves around different industries and different domains. And we need to start thinking about, as business analysts, there are certain situations we can't determine where we can't determine and say we'll only be working in an IT environment. No, you could be deployed on a project to work for a manufacturing firm. You could be deployed on a project to work for what? A health firm. You're going to be employed to work in an insurance firm. You need to know how some of these things will apply to certain industries so that you can present yourself as valuable business analysts, right? So these are certain things that we need to ensure, that we also take into consideration. Now let us proceed. Right, the doctor showed us in a representation earlier, and trust me, that doesn't even do justice to the progression of AI, the AI market. Trust me, right? As at 2023, $196.6 billion, and we're looking at what the progression will be like in 2030 or by 2030. Trust me, right? It's not going down any soon. Right? It's not going to go down any soon. Trust me, it's moving like a wildfire. And for you to stay relevant, right? For you to stay relevant, you need to jump on that trend. And when I mean jump on that trend, I don't mean just, jumping on the trend by just simply asking, what does this process, access ChatGPT or DeepSeek, what will this process entail? What would that process entail? I mean, it helps, right? For faster delivery, it makes you more agile, right? But you need to start thinking about, how you can also utilize, free or readily available studios, for example, like the Copilot Studio, to create agents, to create app. We can even use the Copilot prompt to create an app on Power Apps, right? And these are certain things that we'll just probably touch on before we call it a day, right? So these are things that, I want us to also, take into consideration. Now, like I said earlier, right? Because Microsoft is the forerunner when it comes to low code, when it comes to yes. Microsoft Copilot can help you create an app from scratch within Power Apps. I just put in the prompt and it creates it for me, and then I publish it, right? But for you to refine it effectively, you probably need to still do some modifications. But trust me, it can help you even create websites on Power Apps, right? That you can publish. So these are certain things that we need to take into consideration, right? So I told you that Microsoft being the forerunner when it comes to low code development. What we will do is everything we'll be talking about today will evolve around Microsoft, right? How is Microsoft approach democratizing AI? How is Microsoft making AI readily available for everybody? By ensuring that it is embedded in what Microsoft 365. We have AI as a service. We have pre-built AI solutions. We have AI builders. We have AI platforms. And that is how Microsoft is what? Making it available for use to everybody, right? To everybody. So it's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. Even if you've not, interfaced with some AI services on Azure, you've definitely heard of Microsoft Copilot, right? It's readily available. If you go to your Edge, right? If you go to your Microsoft Edge, the Copilot is readily available. Just type your just the same way that ChatGPT is also readily available. The Copilot is also readily available. So these are just some of the things that we take into consideration, right? The Microsoft Copilot, the Microsoft Power Platform, the Azure AI Services, the Azure Machine Learning. Like I keep saying, for most organizations that are predominantly a Microsoft environment or work with Microsoft ecosystem, is very, very seamless, right? That's why Microsoft, that's why Microsoft has an edge over Amazon, that's AWS, over Google. The ability for them to integrate, and by default, most organizations, their ecosystem will primarily be built on what, in some organizations, not all organizations, Microsoft ecosystems. So it makes it easily integratable with all of these other things. And that's what we'll also be looking at as we proceed, right? It's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind, right? And it's also very, very important that that what Microsoft has also created some of these things following what responsible and strict AI principles, and that's what we'll be looking at, right? There's a slide that talks about governance. I will talk about that when we get there. We'll talk about all of these things, right? It's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. Very, very important, right? AI as Copilot is embedded in everyday applications. You have it on Outlook. It can help you summarize your mails. It prompts me. You've not responded to a particular mail, right? It prompts me. I got the mail. I probably forgot to even look at it, right? It will look through the content and the header. It will get, okay, I think this is a very, very sensitive mail. And when it sees that I haven't even responded in a while, it will bring to my notice that there are 3 notifications that you've not responded to. It will itemize it for me, and then I go to respond to it. Right? These are things that that it's doing to make my everyday work easy, seamless, and straightforward. right? So it's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind, right? It's transforming everyday routine. I'm saying that you can't possibly, trust me, if you can't possibly do anything, right, without insights from Copilot within Microsoft 365 at this age and time, because it's virtually integrated in everything. You not leveraging or using its capabilities it's not, you're not, you're not disciplining the AI. No, you're not. It's not Copilot that should feel bad. It's you that should feel bad, right? Because it just means that what you're just being less productive, right? Survey shows that what Copilot has increased productivity about what 50 to 60% within organizations. Faster response time, faster delivery, faster insights, faster decision making, right? It gives you insights to all of these things, right? And that's why it's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. Very, very important. Right? Very, very important, right? Like I said earlier, sorry once again if we feel this is, limited to Microsoft. That's why I did a brief introduction on every possible AI model out there that you could possibly utilize. But, when it comes to low code, right? I just don't want us to limit this to just, the LLM models like the ChatGPT, the Gemini, and the likes, right? So that's why we're focusing primarily on what Copilot and its application and helping you build low-code agents and then low-code applications, right? So please just have that at the back of our mind, right? And AI has also been integrated to lots of solutions like the Dynamics 365. Everything Microsoft solution now has an integration of what Copilot to it, right? Which means even on, I was on Git the other time, and Copilot has now been integrated there as well. It's there. What do you want to do? Virtually everything, even Virtual Studio now, right? Even Virtual Studio in this age and time, Copilot has also been integrated to it. Right? So these are things that we need to ensure that we take into consideration. Right? These are things that we want to take into consideration. These are simple scenarios of where what AI has been used to what improve performances. Won't dwell on these because colleagues, some of my colleagues that will take you in the coming months would help you with respect to ensuring that this is done effectively and efficiently. Oh, definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Right? Definitely. Copilot with an integration into Microsoft 365, right? For small business organization, the good thing is that, thank you for that question, Dave. The beautiful thing is that, there are different applications for different target audience, right? We have different solutions when it comes to Microsoft. There are different target audience. For a small scale business, they are what? They are business licenses for you. So you don't need to go with enterprise licenses. And the business licenses also has the ability to also integrate Copilot. Right? So these are certain things that I want to take into consideration. So 100%. Yes, the Copilot will definitely help you achieve all of these things. And hopefully in the next 6 months, we're able to paint a clear picture on how it can help you achieve that effectively. Right? These are certain things that we want to take into. We've talked about this as well. So I told you it's been integrated into fields like Microsoft Teams, Designer, Outlook. You can create logos. You can create logos from scratch. You can create flyers from scratch. I can tell Designer to come up with a flyer for me. I give it all the relevant information. And it will create a flyer for me from scratch. right? You know, these are certain things that we need to take into consideration. Are the flyers perfect at this age and time? Not 100%, right? We need to do a more effective and efficient job as what Canva will do for you. You know, AI is in Canva now, right? AI has been integrated with Canva. Not necessarily, but it will do the job, right? It will do the job. So it's very, very important that as an organization, we understand this and we have that at the back of our mind. Everyday AI for remote work, right? Aside Copilot, right? We know AI has helped, you know, it helps remote workers a lot, right? It helps you minimize distraction. There's a solution on Microsoft. When we get there, if I have the ability, I'll also pinpoint it. That has also been integrated, you know, with Copilot that would help you minimize distraction, that would cancel notifications. You can do that, not just even cancel notifications. It will silent calls for you, silent meetings for you, right? Based on certain inputs that you've put into it. Right, so these are certain things that we need to ensure that, you know, we take into consideration. And that's why I say this age and time, there is nothing that you can do, right? There is nothing that you can virtually do without some of these things, right? AI has come to stay, and AI has come to make your job easier. You just have to let it. You just have to work in alignment with it to ensure that it makes your work easier. Right? Is provide easy accessibility. Right? It has been integrated with Microsoft Teams. It can create live captions. It can translate for you. Right? These are things that we need to ensure that we take into consideration. Yes, for the next 6 months, we'll definitely be working you through some practical insights. Today, I will show you some insights with respect to how to even utilize Copilot, or yes, I will show you how to utilize Copilot Studio, and also show you how to use the Copilot prompt to build an app on Power Apps. Yes, I will ensure that I do that before we close the session today. Right? So these are things that we need to ensure, you know, that we take into considerations, right? Can it help you stay focused? Just ensure that you tell it that you don't want to be distracted, then it will quiet all the noise from every other application. Right? It can help you identify questions that haven't been responded to from your notes. You know, these are certain things that AI will do for you. Right? It's very, very important that, you know, we take some of these things into consideration. Right? Very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. It helps you create engaging presentation. This is a no-brainer. Right? It helps you create engaging presentations. It helps you create custom slides. This designer is there for you. Microsoft had a solution, but I think they've decommissioned it. They had Microsoft Sway back then, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Sway. I don't know why they decommissioned it, or probably they integrated it into another solution. Right? AI for productivity helps you improve your writing. It can help you correct your grammar, rephrase sentences for clarity. Can help you generate content as well. You know, it cuts down on an average, primarily, right? What was meant to take us about 2 hours has been cut down to about 45 minutes with effective use of AI. With effective use of AI. Right? So it's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. Very, 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 very important. And then, you know, we also have AI for For search. I mean, primarily everyone uses this, right? It gives you easy access to every information that you might possibly need. It gives you every insight to every information that you might possibly need. You're talking with a client, right? You're working as business analysts. There's times whereby, you would work in some business domains that you probably don't have insights into, right? Easy, straightforward. Give me certain insights into this domain. How will this process flow work? Right? It will give you insights into that, and it makes what your conversations sound more knowledgeable. Right? As you can see, prior to now, right? If you wanted to search for something, you could use about 30 minutes to an hour searching for something off the internet or off the search engines or off the search engines application. But now, anything you're getting, you can get it within what, 2 to 5 minutes. And you can also request for what additional references. Right? This is the age and time that we are currently in. Right? This is the age and time. Right? It's very, very important. That's why we have to embrace this field. We have to optimize these workflows. We have to stay updated. Right? It's very, very important, that we have this at the back of our mind. Very, very important. So this is just what? This is a success story from Microsoft of how of how Copilot has helped them what? Analyze sales. I believe we will still, one of the sessions that we will still talk about in the coming months or in the coming sessions is how you can apply, Copilots into different industries. Right? I have colleagues on the call who will help you ensure that you achieve this effectively and efficiently. Right? So it's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. So let's do this immediately. I know not everyone is a business analyst, but within your environment, right? Within your environment, within your department, how do you think AI, don't limit it to just ChatGPT, right? Don't limit it to just, ChatGPT. How do you think AI primarily can help you within your organization with your existing processes? I want you to personalize this. I want you to do some introspection and then type it out. Let me see. Let me hear from you, right? But while you're typing it, I want you to tell us your department so we see your line of thought, right? So if you just type something, we don't know how it will apply or which department is coming from. So let's do this. I want you to reflect, do some introspection, right? Think about it within your process, within your organization as of today. How are you already, benefiting from AI capabilities? Let's see and let's learn from you. Anybody? Anybody? How do you think your organization can benefit from this? Michael says organizing work roles for each day for team members based on expected activities. Manufacturing company. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Writing a good report as an accountant. Thank you. That's fair. That's good. In these two cases, I believe you will feel it. Sometimes I actually had to summarize policy documents for me. Thank you very much, Philip. That's awesome as well. Well, they said, well, as far as the policy documents are not, sensitive documents, we should, the documents that we put on GPT is very, very important not to put sensitive documents as well. I know everyone on this call is aware, so I know that it's something that we know already, right? Even, DeepSeek was hacked recently, right? So, DeepSeek was hacked. In fact, someone could, I'm an internal auditor against AI to in enhancing my report. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Facility management, AI assist in preventing that. Thank you very much for that. Preventing and reactive maintenance. That's awesome. Right, let me see. I am an emerging entrepreneur, and from what you said, that I have come to realize that I can identify my needs 100%. To identify my needs of the people, the government, particular market, 100%. Right, sharing of ideas that would help the organizations, that definitely works. Guides on creative ways to teach a concept. Thank you very much. 100%. AI helps in assistive approach to technical content development. Thank you very, very much. Gives headway of, varying options, taking that right. Okay. Awesome. Messaging operational specialist at the marketing technology firm. So true. Right? AI can accept process optimization 100%. 100%. Right? So it's very, very important. Thank you, everybody, for this. Right? It's very, very important that we see how, helping me with the best counseling for my client as a counselor. Okay. It will give you insights, right? But counseling also has to have some emotional intelligence to it, right? You also learn from experiences. So true. I get it. That also works effectively. That would also work. All right. Thank you very, 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 very much. So it's very, very important that we see from this perspective, right? There are lots of AI solutions that would help us, right, in ensuring that we're more efficient and we're more effective with respect to some of the things, that we do in our day-to-day activity, right? Good. I work as a payment solution provider. I can help smart payment routing transactions now quickly processed. Thank you very, very, very much, Adeshola. All right? Beautiful. So it's very, very important that you see that word. If you look at this effectively, you see that what? AI is what? Is here to make our work easier. Right? Doesn't mean that, like I said earlier, doesn't mean that it will take away all logical reasoning from you, right? But it will help you be more effective, more efficient, right? It will help you work at an optimal rate. Very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. So beautiful. Right, I was talking to you earlier about how, Copilot or AI has been integrated to all of these solutions, right? It's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. AI has literally been integrated into everything, right? It has been integrated into everything within the organization. Right, when I say the organization now, I'm talking about my organization, I'm talking about the likes of Microsoft, right? And let's even say all organizations, because even every solution right now has some form of AI capability to it. From your security solution, to your accounting software, to your BI, solutions, right? All of these things now has some form of what? AI integration, right? It's very, very important. Even our IT service desk solution now has what? Integration of what? AI into it, because no one wants to be left behind. It's very, very important, right? As an organization, you should even, for any organization that hasn't incorporated AI into their strategy, you're just setting yourself for failure, right? That's a no-brainer. Right? If we take your strategy document, right? Most organizations can have what? 2-year strategy, 1-year strategy, 5-year strategy. In fact, the 10-year strategy, right? But in this age and time, if we take or review your strategy document and you've not incorporated AI or how your organization intends to leverage this, right, to serve, your stakeholders effectively and efficiently, and trust me, you're not a forward-thinking organization. You're a backward-thinking organization, right? If within your organization at this age and time, you've not had a conversation with your top management or with your team lead on how AI, on how you believe you can leverage AI to better what? Improve what? Our processes, our deliveries, And trust me, you're not a forward-thinking individual, right? You're not a forward-thinking individual, right? Because it was back in the days whereby I would say, okay, we're not developers now. Well, what can I do? I can't build the model. You can leverage what existing solutions like Copilot Studio. Anybody can create AI agents. I can create AI agents because I can use a prompt to do it. Right? So these are certain things that we would also look at and we would also, take into consideration and also talk about, right? And now we want to talk about, Power Platform, right? When I say Power Platform is just a low-code solution that Microsoft has developed. A low-code and no-code solution that Microsoft has developed to help you what? To help you simplify the process of building technical solutions, right? Very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. That's what this is about, and that's what this is for, right? And this is what we'll also talk a little bit about some of these things. And within the Power Platform portfolio, we have different products that Copilot has integrated with effectively. Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Copilot Studio, and also Power Pages. Power Page was what we called, I think, virtual agents before, whereby we used in creating chatbots on Microsoft 365, but I think they changed the name, right? So these are things that, we take into consideration, right, as an organization. Please also note that for organizations, right, you might likely not have access to some of these things. That's as an individual, right? But depending on the licenses that you have as an organization will determine, what you can use and how you can use within the Microsoft ecosystem. But all of these things are also available for use, right? With respect to free trial, free license, I believe you can use some of these things for about, 30 days. Some you can use it for about 60 days, right? After that, you will then be required to pay, right? So it's very, very vital that, we'll have some of these things and we take some of these things into consideration, right? How many of us has interfaced with Microsoft Power Platform before on this call? How many of us has interfaced with Microsoft Power Platform before? How many of us has interfaced with Microsoft Power Platform before? Or better still, how many of us has even interfaced with or how many of us has heard about, Microsoft Power Platform? Let me put it that way. How many of us only open Power BI twice? Michael, okay, Stella says I have, beautiful. Briefly, when I was studying data analysis, Power BI. All right, good. Right, so Microsoft has made this solution available because of people like us, right? You probably have minimal coding experience, right? Don't need to stress yourself too much, right? What do you want to create, right? What do you want to create? Type out, map out what you want to create, and Microsoft will do the engineering at the back end. It's as simple as that, right? Drag and drop whatever you want to create, give certain instructions, and what Microsoft will go ahead with respect to what creating some of these things for you. So the engineering, you don't need to worry yourself about the engineering of all of these things, right? You don't need to have interface with Microsoft Power. Awesome, Tochiko, right? So you don't need to stress yourself much about some of these things, right? And how does Copilot now apply to this? With respect to Copilot and AI, right? AI has been integrated with all of these because right now, before I would just probably say I want to drag and drop some of these things so that I create a look and feel in Power Platform, and Microsoft will go ahead with what engineering at the back end. But right now, I don't even need to go ahead and stress myself with dragging and dropping anything. Now I don't utilize AI, Copilot, right? Now you utilize Copilot on Microsoft Power Platform to type the prompt. What do you want to create? It's as simple as that. I want to create an application for my probably I want to create an application for the HR department that helps with managing leave requests. That could be a prompt, right? You click go, it goes at the back end and starts seeing what you mean by, okay, HR solution, leave solution, how's the best way to approach this? Then it will give you a representation of what your application would look like. If you're not satisfied, you can modify the prompt, right? But we'll get there. When we get there, we'll also look at that in detail. But so that you get a mental picture of what I mean, let me just do something briefly so that you get a mental picture of what I mean. Permit me to just do this briefly. So permit me to do this briefly. Can you see my screen? All right, awesome, 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 awesome. So that's the where this is where I want us to come to, right? So good, let me do this, right? This is Microsoft 365, right? This is Copilot, right? I know we're used to this, right? This is not new to everybody. But the beautiful thing about this is that, you know, this is integrated with other applications, right? This is integrated with other applications. It's integrated with the likes of Outlook, it's integrated with the entire Microsoft ecosystem. Dave says it's new to me. Oh. What is new to you, the Copilot or the ecosystem I'm showing you? So that I know the Copilot. Oh, okay, that's fine, that's fine. So there are different stages of the Copilot, but this is not even the Copilot. That's fine. We're not diving into this yet. Do you get? So I just wanted to give you a mental picture of some of the things that we'll probably be doing. So don't worry. We'll still lay. But you understand the definition up to now, right? So that at least you get where I'm coming from. I'm just trying to paint a mental picture of certain things that we'll be doing going forward, right? So, but right. So I'm just trying to paint a mental picture for what we will do as we proceed, right? So please just bear with me. So you know, we said we spoke about yes. So you know, we spoke about the Power Platform, right? Good. It's very important for me to show you what I mean when I'm talking about that. So let me just do this. So this is the Microsoft ecosystem. So Copilot is integrated into virtually about 80 to 90% of all these applications, right? Which makes it more seamless to carry out, you know, certain tasks effectively and efficiently. But let me go to where I want to go to. So this is where I want to go to, right? This is I'm just trying to paint a mental picture, right? We'll still go back to the slide. I'm just trying to paint a mental picture. So you expect them to respect to what we'll do after the class or after the session, right? So this is Power Apps, which is what? A low-code solution created by Microsoft to help organizations or individuals like yourself with minimal coding experience or coding knowledge, you know, create applications, right? As you can see my screen, right? This is Copilot, right? You can see the sign. This is Copilot. So it's as simple prior to now, before the integration of Copilot, what we will do is what? We will create an application from scratch, or we leverage existing applications, right? It's very, very important. But why go through all this stress when I have what? An AI agent that can help me do what I want to do, right? So when we come back to this, what we'll just do is I will come and write a prompt here that says what? Great, and I'm not doing this now. I'm just trying to paint a mental picture for you, right? I will come and I will input a prompt here, and you will see what happens next, right? And these are the things that I want to take into consideration. And another thing that I want to take into consideration, I want us to also do is here. So we'll also come here as well, right? this here is what we'll go to the Copilot Studio, where we will also create an AI agent from scratch, right? So I'm here painting a mental picture for you, so you see what we'll be doing as we proceed, right? I want this to come up. When this comes up, I give you a mental picture of what we'll do, keep you expectant, and then we'll go back to the slide, right? I know that, low system resource may affect my audio quality. Try closing some applications. I don't even have multiple applications up and running. I think it's just my tab. All right, but it's still loading. It's still loading. All right, let me close this. Give me a minute. All right, let me try again. Let me try again. I think my low resource, I don't know, and this is supposed to be SSD. All right, so let me see. I just want to get a mental picture, but apparently I don't know why this is not going through. But give me a minute, give me a minute, give me a minute. All right, we'll refresh and hopefully before we come back, right, this will come up. So what I was just trying to say is this, that, these are certain things that we'll take into consideration, as we proceed. So let me just go back to sharing my, it's loading now, imagine. I think it's my system. I don't think it's the internet. I think it's my system because it prompted me that, low resource. So I believe it's my system. So I might have to restart my system. Awesome. I believe you can all see my screen. So this is Copilot Studio, and this is where we'll be creating agents, right? We'll create an agent, right, that can respond to certain queries, that can respond to certain questions within the organization, that can even initiate an action, right? We'll have that functionality to do that. But at this agent time, let's get back to the slideshow. Let's get back to the slideshow, right? So good. So that is what Microsoft Copilot is, and that is what we will be discussing when we come back. We will be showing you how in real life, how Copilot can help you create applications from scratch, right? We'll be telling you, we'll be working through how we can help you automate certain tasks, right? It's very, very important. We'll be working through building chatbots and agents because that's what we will do, right? Hopefully, when we are done with this particular program or this particular session. Now let's get right into it. So these are some of the other solutions and applications that we have readily available to work with, right? I believe we have this. I believe you can see my screen now. I'm back on the slide. I know everyone can see my screen now, right? So we have Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Copilot Studio, Power Pages, and we have AI Builder, data connectors. We have the data vars as well. These are certain terminologies that you need to take into consideration, right? You need to take into consideration if you intend to build certain applications or do certain things, like build agents, automate processes, and develop applications and build amazing dashboard visualizations. This will help you do this. And the reason why we are saying this and we are aligning it to Copilot is because we've come to the era of doing everything seamlessly, right? We've come to the era of doing everything seamlessly. So prior to the time whereby I would need to go to Power BI and start working with certain things from scratch, building applications from scratch on Power Apps, automating processes from scratch with Power Automate. I can just tell Copilot I can map out what I want, and it will go ahead to do most of these things for me. It's as simple and straightforward as that. And that is what we'll be looking at as we proceed, right? Now let's us get right into it, right? Why organizations, the business value organizations, use and leverage power platforms for, low cost development. Everybody can do it. It also enables what? Agile development. These are certain things that we need to ensure that we take into consideration. Instead of building things from scratch, you can leverage this. Instead of going outside to get an HR solution, you can create an HR solution internally for your organization on Power Apps. All right, you can create an application that helps you with payroll. You can create an application that helps you manage leave requests. You can do that on Power Apps. You can create an incident management tracker, right, for your IT service management professionals. You can create that on Power Apps. You can create a change management process flow from start to finish with Power Automate, Power Apps, SharePoint, an integration of all of these applications. So these are things that we need to take into consideration, right? As business analysts, as professionals, these are certain things that we need to take into consideration, right? As an analyst, you need to know when to, there's in IT, we have certain guiding principles, right? There's one that says start where you are, right? We look at what you have internally to see if it can help you achieve desired outcome or output that you're expecting, right? As an analyst, you need to know how some of these things can help meet what stakeholders' expectations, right? It's very, very important that we understand and have this at the back of our mind, right? This is very, very vital for organizations and for individuals who do not, have a vast experience, like I keep saying, in programming languages, right? It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. All right, let us proceed. I thought I saw a question. Right? Good. So the next thing we want to talk about is what? Ready to exploit AI in our businesses. We talked about this. We've given real life scenarios on how you can apply these within the organization. Every sector, trust me, AI can be integrated in any sector. If you think it, if you dream it, you can definitely achieve it with AI. In this case, with what? Integration of Copilot into your what? Into your business, right? Like other partners that are, trying to learn how to develop and, build some of these things from scratch. We're ahead of them because, we understand how we understand the fundamental, principles. We understand how it works. And then we have already built solutions to help us achieve some of these things. If you can think it, if you can actually think it, if you can understand the processes, trust me, right? You can imagine I can build literally anything for your organization, right? You can look at your organization and see a particular process that you believe should be automated, and you come here and automate the process from start to finish. And the beautiful thing about this is because it leverages multiple applications, right? So you can perform actions from one particular application into another application within the same ecosystem, right? You can even integrate some of these with what? Third-party applications as well, right? So it's very, very important. What you can do here is what? Limitless. It's very, very important. What you can do here is limitless. And I want us to have that at the back of our mind, right? Very, very important for us to please note all of these things. And then you can't actually talk about any of these things without laying emphasis on some Azure AI services. I know everybody here we've heard of Azure, right? It's not new to everybody on this call. Everybody on this call, I know you know what Microsoft Azure is, right? It's a cloud environment, Microsoft cloud platform, right? I think it's part of, not I think, I know it's part of the big three. The big three is what? Who knows the big three when we talk about cloud platforms? Or don't let me say who knows the big three. What's the big three from your own perspective? What's the big three from your own perspective when it comes to cloud computing? What is the big three from your own perspective? I know the big three, I believe you want to say, but let me see. Google, thank you very much. Google one, the big three when it comes to cloud computing. Google number one. Google is not number one in ranking, but yes, AWS, Azure, Google, in that particular order. Are you ranking them 1 to 3? Right? You know, it comes in different perspective. Azure, I guess you're right. I mean, you can see it on the screen, right? That's so yes, Azure is Microsoft's iCloud. iCloud yes, iCloud is also a cloud, storage platform, but you know, cloud computing has more capacity to do more. It's more vast, right, than the iCloud. But yes, it's also, but it's not part of the big three. Azure, AWS, Amazon Web Services, and Google Cloud Platform. You know, we're not just limited to these three, please. Have that at the back of our mind, right? We're just not limited, but you know, primarily, right? Primarily, it is these big three. Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud Platform. We have Alibaba Cloud as well. We have Digital Ocean. We have a lot. So please, but primarily the big three is limited to this. And why are we talking about, you know, AI services? Because everything that we'll be doing, every activity that we'll be carrying out with Copilot, from Copilot to the building agents on the Copilot Studio, we'll be leveraging what Azure AI Services to do it. It's very, very important, right? These are just talking about pre-built AI models that are already available on Azure Services, which is what Copilot will leverage to help you achieve some of the things that we tell you to do, right? It's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. So that is why I did a brief introduction into this, so that you have an idea, right? There are different Azure services. There are different Azure AI services. Trust me, there are different services on Azure, right? We have computing services, we have security services, and we also have AI services, right? And we also have AI services, right? We have pre-built AI as a service. We have previewed AI software as a service. All right, so that was a chart. All right, we have previewed AI software as a service. You know, we have lots of things from the, let's go from the, we have Azure Vision, right? We have Azure Test, Azure AI Vision, we have Azure AI Speech, we have Azure AI Language. You know, we have Azure AI Document Intelligence. We have Open AI Search. You know, we have lots and lots of AI services that you can leverage, pre-built, right? Pre-built that you can leverage and that you can work with, right? These are pre-built AI models that, you know, primarily you can leverage to what? To achieve your what? Your objectives, any AI objectives or anything you would probably like to achieve leveraging AI, right? You have these readily available on what? Microsoft and Azure, right? It's very, very important, you know, that we have this at the back of our mind. And one of the reasons why, you know, most organizations will leverage this is because, you know, I believe most of you, you've heard of the benefits of the cloud at this age and time, that it helps you save costs, you know, when it comes to security, top-notch, the ability to integrate with other ecosystems, and probably what? Deployment flexibility. Gives you different approaches in what? Helping your deployment of AI solutions, right? You know, these are certain things that, you know, these are certain things organizations will look at before making a certain decision. on leveraging, Azure AI services, right? But it's very, very vital for you to understand that, you have this readily available for you to work with, right? These are pre-built AI services that you get your subscription on Azure and start working with it. It makes deployment of certain solutions easy and straightforward. If I had the appropriate license type, I would probably have just, showed you how to use the Azure Vision, right? To identify some pictures. We'll feed it certain pictures, right? We'll train it on certain pictures. I can have lots of pictures of different dogs, right? And it's very, very simple and very, very straightforward, right? I mean, anybody can utilize it. Very, very important that, I stress on that, right? I feed it lots of images, right? From the folder, I upload a folder. It will go through and scan it. It will tell me the percentage. Sometimes we give you 99.9%, percentage to rate what it is seeing. But trust me, it is easily accessible and it is something that can easily be done. And it's very, very simple and straightforward. I don't need to go ahead to start coding on Python to help me track or identify certain things. I can easily use, pre-built AI models for me to work with. And that is how Microsoft and Copilot and these solutions are bridging the gap. And that's why it's very, very important for us to at least take some of these things into consideration. It's very, very important that we take some of these things into consideration, right? These are some AI service capabilities. We have Azure AI Vision, we have Azure AI Language, right? You can see the AI Vision will analyze images and videos. It will recognize faces, right? This is primarily for object recognition. We have AI Language that you can also leverage that will process and analyze your text. It will understand your natural language, right? Extract insights. These are certain things that, they are built already for you. You just have to get a subscription on Microsoft, Azure, and start leveraging it. Start working with some of these things, right? So these are some of the services that are made readily available for us to work with. It's very, very important. It's very, very important that we understand and we have this at the back of our mind. We're laying some foundational knowledge here. But going forward in the next 6 months, these are certain things that we believe that you will be able to pull off before the end of this training program. Right? These are certain things that we believe that you'll be able to pull off, right, with some of these things. Right? So it's very, very important for us to understand and have this at the back of our mind. Very, very important, very, very vital, that you work with some of these things and that we have this at the back of our mind. But these are just, other success stories. These are just other success stories from Microsoft, right? So it's very, very important, that we understand and that we have some of these things at the back of our mind, right? Like I said, you can create custom AI models with Azure machine learning as well, right? It's very, very important, that we understand some of these things, right? It's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. It's also very, very important that we are familiar with all the services that we can leverage, right? From the Azure AI Studio and machine learning to the Azure Cognitive Service to the Azure Open AI Service to the Azure AI Infrastructure Service. There's a lot that we can leverage. It's very, very important, right? The Azure machine learning is very, very, I'm emphasizing how easy and seamless it is because there's no coding required for these things. right? The Azure Machine Learning is a cloud-based machine learning platform that allows your businesses to train, deploy, and manage AI models. It's a drag and drop model building. You don't need any coding. You don't need any basic coding knowledge. It's a plus, so right? Having it is a plus. But primarily, right, you don't need it. It's a drag and drop feature. No coding is required. Right? And it also supports what? Different frameworks. The frameworks that our other colleagues will be learning, TensorFlow, PyTorch, it supports all of these things. Right? That's why it's very, very important that we understand this. These are things that we can achieve, right? Using all of these things effectively and efficiently, right? Are we still together? Are we still together? I hope we're still together, right? So these are things that I want us to open our minds to, right? These are things that I want us to open our minds to. I want us to open our minds to the possibilities, to things that we can achieve, via this. I'm trying to break the bias, right? I'm trying to break the bias that says that for you to do some of these things effectively, you need what? You need to be trust me, if you want to build from scratch, that's a no-brainer. Right? If you want to build any AI model from scratch, right? Trust me, for that one you need it. Right? It's very, very important for us to have that at the back of our mind. Right? So that we don't preach the wrong thing. For you building from scratch, trust me, you need it. But for you leveraging, right? For you leveraging, pre-built AI models on Microsoft, on Azure, working with what pre-built AI models, you primarily do not need coding experience to do this, right? In some situation, what you just need to do is know the right prompts to put. In another situation, what you need to do is just drag and drop, right? These are just certain things that we need to ensure that we have at the back of our mind. It's very, very important that we note these things. Very, very important that we note these things, right? So, these are certain things that we need to take into consideration as well, right? Machine learning operations, right? Machine learning challenges and the need of machine learning operations. So we're looking at it as what machine learning operations and how organizations can tackle machine learning challenges using what? Azure machine learning, right? It's very, very important that we have it at the back of our mind. We know that at the back end of things, machine learning ops is inspired by DevOps, right? That's a no-brainer. And it focuses on automating, managing, and also scaling machine learning models effectively and efficiently. So these are certain things that you need to take into consideration. There are 4 key stages in the machine learning ops lifecycle, right? Number 1, this is what you probably be doing. Data preparation, right? Clean and prepare data models for training. Before training the AI model on what? On Azure Machine Learning, what you just need to do is what? Clean and prepare the data for what? For model training, right? You can organize your data effectively, remove duplicates, and pre-process those raw data. You're just trying to clean the data, right? By removing what? Duplicates, we are normalizing the data, right? After you do that, you train and you test the data, right? This is where they apply what? Algorithms to train the model and evaluate its performance, right? And then we package and validate, containerize the model and ensure its performance meets business goal. When we talk about containerization, we will be talking about, technological principles like Docker and Kubernetes. When we say containerize, it's just the ability to package a code and all its dependency into a particular file. so that it is very, very portable and it can be run anywhere. And it can be integrated anywhere. That's what it primarily means when we say to containerize a certain application or model, right? So these are certain things. It just means that we are packaging the model and every of its dependency into a particular file, right? That can be easily deployed anywhere, right? Good. Right? Package and validate. Ensure that what the model meets, certain regulatory requirements, right? That's something that we'll also talk about. Right? Regulatory requirements. Right? These are certain things. And when we were done with that, we deploy and then we monitor. We deploy the model into what? The real world environment, into our web application, into our mobile app, into our cloud environment. Right? And we continuously monitor its performance. If there's a need to, if we notice it's not performing as we should, then we retrain it with what? We retrain it with what? Other data, if necessary, with additional data, additional information. Right? So primarily, this is just, the different stages that you primarily go through when working with what? Azure machine learning. But trust me, it is something that you can do with little or no coding experience, right? Little or no coding experience. In some situations, you might, want to have an expert who also knows how to code to help with some activities. But primarily, right, this is meant to be low code, right? It's very, very important that we understand that at the back of our mind, right? Very, very important. So machine learning operations. Then when we talk about a systematic approach to AI for business, there's certain things, there are certain pillars that you want to take into consideration. There are certain pillars that we can't do without, right? Very, very important. Collaboration is one of them, right? Collaboration is one of it, right? This is just encouraging. You can't work in a siloed environment and want to deliver value. It's not possible. You can't work in a siloed environment or work in a siloed state and be effective as you need to. It's not possible, right? So collaboration is key, right? It's very, very important. When I make collaboration, we're talking about collaboration with what? Data scientists, AI engineers, app developers, and also IT teams, because we need input from different stakeholders, business analysts. These are things that we know. We need inputs from what? Different stakeholders to validate that it aligns with what? Business objectives. Right? These are things that, we already know as business analysts. Right? It's very, very important. We're just ensuring that there's seamless collaboration, there's seamless integration, and seamless teamwork between every relevant stakeholder, right? That their input is needed in this particular solution, right? Second is what? Automation, reducing manual effort by automating what? Model training, by automating deployment, by automating what? Monitoring and also retraining, right? These are certain things, that we take into consideration. This is just a systematic approach. And these are things that we want to ensure that we take into consideration. Standardization is something that, we don't take lightly. It's very, very important, right? Build in alignment to best practice. Build, taking into consideration certain principles, right? Establish consistent practices, processes, workflows, and governance for managing AI models. Very, very important. We don't want irregularities. We don't want inconsistencies, right, with your AI model. We don't want AI models that do not conform with requirements, regulatory requirements. And these are things that we take into consideration, right? Very, very important. Visibility, ensure that every stakeholder, right, every stakeholder. We know on a particular project, we know there are various stakeholders, right? Ensure that all stakeholders have a clear view of what AI model development and its performance, right? It's very, very important because this will help continuous improvement, right? It's very, very vital, that we understand some of these things and we take some of these things into consideration. It's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. I should show you where this is located, right? But I'm thinking that if I should go to my Azure platform, I don't want it to start lagging again. But I will definitely show you where all of this is located. So if you want to work on, if you want to start working, I can show you, where to go to, right? But right now, I don't have, for example, let me just do this so that I also paint a mental picture for you. Let me do this. All right, I believe, let me know when you can see my screen, please. So that I paint a mental picture for you. When I say it's something that you can easily do, I want to paint a mental picture for what I mean, right? So, all right, perfect. So this is where I want to come to. Tell me what you can see. You can see my Microsoft Azure environment, right? I believe you can see my Microsoft Azure environment. Awesome, thank you very much. So now, I said with respect to cloud services, I told you there are lots of services on the cloud, but we don't want to digress. What we're looking for, what we want to talk about is what? AI and machine learning. Is that easy and straightforward, right? It's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. These are everything that you can work with. This is everything that you can work with, right? Very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind. If we click on machine learning, but I don't have the effective role to create some of these things. I don't have the effective licenses to create all of these things, but something that we can all try. We have all you just need to do is have a credit card that you can work with. I know that has primarily been a challenge in creating spaces to work with Microsoft Azure, but if you can create a virtual card, why not? It will give you the ability to work with most of these things as well, right? So create a project, right? I don't want to go into details with respect to this, but this is where you create your resource group. This is where you create your resource group. Create the name of the resource. Create the name of the resource. Put the region. Where you want this to be stored. You create a storage account, right? So you create a storage account. If you have a keyboard, This is where you store secrets, sensitive keys within the cloud environment. I didn't want to stress us with some of these things, but this will create some of this. When we create this, we'll create the networking environment, and then our workspace will be created automatically, right? Container registry is what? If you have a container registry, you can connect it. If you don't, you can create something entirely new that you want to work with, whereby you want to deploy the containers that it referenced, right? Whereby you deploy some of your AI models too. But, right, I don't want to go into the details of this so that we don't digress much. But you just feel the details of this, select the networking, right? You might primarily not be responsible for creating all of these things, right? But this is just what you want. Do you want to access it publicly for security reasons? You might necessarily not want to do this, right? For me, since it's a test environment, why not? But if it's a production environment, then you want to ensure that the environment is made private so that only private endpoints can have access to it. Only probably endpoints or only services within your network environment can have access to this, right? But it just depends on what you have, because this is a demo environment, or probably because you've been working in the demo environment, you can do that. Encryption, let's allow Microsoft manage our encryption key, right? How do you want to log into the storage account? These are certain questions that you would need to at least have some form of knowledge with respect to how Azure works. If you have that insight, then you can just, when you're done, you just go ahead to review and create, and then you can start, training AI models, right? I would have loved to do some of this, but even my subscription level right now would permit me to do this particular one on Azure, but I can do the ones on Microsoft 365, right? But it's as simple as it's a click of a button, right? You just have to understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. And then it makes it easier, makes it straightforward, right? So you don't need to stretch yourself about, some of these things. Very, very important. And there are other trainings if you want to also get right deep into Azure AI machine learning. There are other trainings that you could leverage for that as well. But let me not digress, because I know that our time is fast spent. And let me get right back to the slide so that I can also do some demos for the Copilot, so that we can also see that at work. So also bear with me so that I just run through some of the slides so that we can easily conclude the slide and we can start. I know today is Friday, right? I won't want to hold everyone ransom. So let me ensure that I get through with the slides, and then we can start at least we can take 2 examples, build an AI agent from scratch, and also build an application. We are using Copilot prompts, right? So let's get right into it. So good, we'll have to create a machine learning studio, which was what I was trying to create earlier. So when you're done creating the machine learning studio, you can start building your AI models and training your AI models, right? It's very simple, very, very straightforward. If I had the license, I would ensure that I would have created one for you, right? But hopefully, in one of these sessions, in one of the further training sessions, I can get a session to also do that for you as well, right? But let's get right into it, right? The next thing is what? The machine learning lifecycle, right? From the explanation that we've given earlier, I believe we should have insights into this, right? I believe we already have insights into this, right? This is just machine learning lifecycle. From what we said to this stage, it shouldn't be an issue, right? Prepare your data, gather, clean, and process your data, right? Train your model, package the model content. That's where, convert a trained model into a deployable format, right? Validate your model, deploy the model, and then what? Monitor the model. If you need to retrain the model, then you would have to ensure that what? You retrain the model, right? These are the things that we just discussed, right? We already said AI starts at data, right? That's why we talked about the foundation of AI earlier. So this is not, this shouldn't be strange to us, right? Prepare the data set, right? Gather your data, clean the data, ensure that the data is good to go, right? After that, you want to ensure that you train yes, Richard just said the class was meant to end 1 p.m. today, right? Yes, it was meant to end 1 p.m. today. But give or take. I'll ensure that we round up soon. I'll ensure that we round up soon. Trust me, I know that when we also get to a certain level, we also hit a decline. So I'll round up soon. Just give me about 30 minutes to run through the slides so that we can. I'm sorry, right? So what I'll do is I will ensure I round this up soon. And yes, I'll just pinpoint certain things, and then we'll just go right into the examples I said I wanted to give. I'm so sorry about that. So good. So we train and test the data, we package the data, we validate the data, and as well, after we validate the data, we deploy, we monitor, and then we retrain. These are the certain steps, that we need to ensure that we take into consideration, right? And these are other things that helps you what enable machine learning operations practices, the ability to what to ensure consistent model result across the reproducibility, the ability to reproduce the same result, right? Very, very important. Validation, evaluate the model performance, deployment, choose the best deployment approach, and retraining, right? It's very, very important. And you need to ensure that you continuously refine and improve your model accuracy. It's very, very important. Just like the human mind works by continuous training, continuous learning, same thing works for something that we've built to mimic us, right? So these are certain things that we want to take into consideration. And I don't want to take too much of our time because I know that you already reminded me of the time. So it's just very, very important for us to have this at the back of our mind that you need to embrace this within the organization because this gives you predefined models to work with, right? You don't need to start going to build anything from scratch again. You can. Please don't get it wrong, right? Out of your curiosity, you can go create from scratch if you want to, right? But why create from scratch when you can build on already existing, already pre-trained models for you to work with? Even Copilot had to do what? Had to do a partnership with what? OpenAI, right? You could even, we saw claims that even DeepSeek, you leverage what? Some features and functionalities that OpenAI had done, but they did it, under, they didn't go the right means in doing it, but it's not concluded yet, who knows, right? But I'm just trying to let you know that what this is readily available. You just need to know the right place to look. You just need to know the right place to look. So before we proceed, knowledge check, let me know that we're all together and we're all following. Don't worry, we'll call it a day soon. Trust me, we'll call it a day soon. I know. I also don't want information overload, right? I also don't want information overload. So, everybody, let me see your answers. A, B, or C. Number one, number two, number three. What's your answer? What's your answer? What's your answer? Let me see if we've been following. What's your answer? What's your answer? For number one, number two, number three, what's your answer? All right, let me see. I can see number one, A, number one. Number one, someone says three, Richard says A. A, 3A. Number one, what's your answer? Majority is going with final answer A. Final answer A. Final answer A. Going once, going twice, gone. Correct answer is Microsoft Copilot. A is correct. Number two, A, B, or C. Number two, A, B, or C. Philip says A, B, or C. A, B, or C. All right. Going once, going twice. C. The C's have it. The C's have it. The C's have it. Number three. Number three, A, B, or C. Number three, A, B, or C. Number three, A, B, or C. I can see B, A, B, or C, A, B, or C. I can see lots of B's, lots of B's, lots of B's. Final answer. The bees have it. The bees have it. It is B, right? We said what machine learning, as the name implies, ability to help you train, right? Bees have it. Number two, Power Platform definitely is a low-code solution that helps you, deploy certain applications. Number one, definitely Microsoft Copilot, the Microsoft Copilot, right? I don't know if for this stage, I know it's one already. I know it's first one already. With the permission of I know it's one, and I know that I don't want to take too much of your time. With permission from oh my God, I'm sorry, Pastor. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I said my time was saying 109. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's Pastor, so I wouldn't want to stress. I know I'm so sorry. It was a mistake on my part. My time is showing 109. I'm so sorry. Passport Uganda. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry, everybody. So what we'll do is this. I wouldn't stress too much with the other part of things, right? I will stress with the other part of things because it's past time. So let's just get right into, permit me to just get right into, I'm sorry, no issues at all, no issues at all, no issues at all. I am so sorry, I'm so sorry. So what we'll do is this, let's stop here, right? And let's just see how we can create some of those things that we talked about, right? I'm so sorry, Adeshola, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So what we'll do is this. I mean, going forward, we'll have breaks in between, but we can stop here, right? And I will just go right into it because introduction into Microsoft Copilot is what we were meant to even work on. So let's go straight into the practical. So let me just share my screen. So let me just share my screen and let's just show one or two demos. And then, so let's just get right into it. Let's show one or two demos and let's just get right into it, right? So that we know this is a no-brainer, right? So don't worry, we'll just do demos for about 15 minutes and then I'll leave everybody and then you can go enjoy the rest of your day. I know you probably want to do TGIF or something like that, but let's get right into it. So Copilot is a no-brainer. Everyone here knows what Copilot is. Copilot will do the exact same thing that what your OpenAI will do for you. It's very important that we have that at the back of our mind. It's very important. It's an AI-powered assistant. So how do you access the Copilot? So beautiful. What you can do is you can register for a free trial, right? You can register for a free trial, right? I would send edit access to what you can do to get free access for 30 days, right? I'll give you a link whereby you can have access to it and then you can utilize it. So I'll give you a link, right? Whereby you can have access to it for 30 days free, right? Yes, I will work with any tool, but you have to log in, you have to register, you have to do some form of things, but I will definitely give you access. I know that you could create a Microsoft 365 environment for 30 days and you can use for 25 users. I don't know how possible that still is. I will do my research on that. And if you can do it, then I'll just probably create one account and probably 25 people can have access to it for about a month to do anything they want to do. Or probably I'll look into it and then I'll see how I can create one. And then you can also, another person will create another one. Then we just have two separate accounts. I believe we're about 50 people here. Then we just have two separate Microsoft accounts whereby people can work with and then, engage and do demos on, right? I will look into it and see how I can get that sorted for you guys, right? Good. So this is Copilot, right? This is Copilot. This is your AI-powered assistant that integrates into all Microsoft 365 applications, right? It integrates into Outlook. It integrates into Designer. For example, create a logo for who has a business here. Create a logo for my business. I am into car dealership. I'm into car dealership. Into car dealership. My business name. My business name is let's say B2B car. Right? It's as simple and straightforward. Right? It will tap into Microsoft Designer for you and create a logo. Right? These are certain things. The logo might not be as accurate as humanly possible. Right? It might not even give you what you want, but it will come up with something for you. Right? Then if you don't like it, you can say make it more modern. You add a car logo. You can just make it or do it in a way that it will just perform something for you. In some situations, my system is actually prompting me to. I don't know what's wrong with my system. All right, good. Right? It has created a logo for me. Is this something that works for me? Why not? It looks good. Right? Is this something that I want to work with? Why not? Right? Very, very important, very, very straightforward. Right? We can also go as far as saying I'm just trying to build foundational knowledge for people who not used Copilot before. It does the same thing that ChatGPT also does. Right? The only difference is that it can also review, or it also has access into your existing solutions into Microsoft 365, and it makes carrying out certain tasks more easy and more accessible to work with. Right? Map out. I'm trying to. I'm working on an ERP implementation project. The solution deploying is although I want you to give me an approach to capture relevant requirement. Right? So it's as simple as straightforward. Right? These are certain things that we want to take into consideration. Right? Can you let's see how far it can go. Can you create this using Microsoft PowerPoint? I doubt it, but let's see. Can you create all this for me? It's Microsoft PowerPoint. Right? This is us just testing. Yes, please create the presentation. Right? Now create the presentation for me. Let's see how far it goes. Right? It's as simple as, making our work and cutting our product or helping us, be more productive. Have you seen it? It has created the link for me. So this is the link to the presentation. Right? It's as simple and straightforward. Right? I believe everyone can see my screen. Let me see. I don't know if you can see my screen. Just give me a minute. Let me see if you can see my screen. All right. I don't think you can see. I don't know if you can see the PowerPoint, but let me just do this so that you can see my entire screen. I believe you can see my entire screen now, right? All right, so good. This is what it did for me in the presentation. It is not as detailed as I want it to, right? You can't see the PowerPoint yet. I'm sharing my entire screen. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, your screen is visible actually.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Your
I'm so
screen
sorry.
is
So this is
visible.
what it created for me. It is not as fresh as I want. So I want to try different prompts, but another beautiful thing is that, you know, we already have designer incorporated here that will make my work, you know, like I make it more beautiful with respect to design, right? Like I make it more beautiful with respect to design. So it's very, very important that we have that at the back of our mind, right? It makes our work easy, it makes our work more seamless and more, you know, more straightforward, right? How to customize, I can tell it to make the it's more or better still. I can ask it to make it more detailed and then build a better presentation for me. Make this presentation more detailed. You can also search the internet for all those case studies. So to help improve presentation. Let's see what he gives back to me. Right? So these are certain things that we can do, but this is on a basic level, right? This is at the basic level. So while this is still working, while this is still doing certain things, let's get right into, you know, let's get right into Power Apps, right? While this is still loading some situation, it will take longer. Okay, good. Let me see. Continuous feedback loops, this. Okay, it has gotten some insights. I believe it's also leveraging, it's also giving me some case studies to work with. As you can see, I can click on this and then also make it better in some situations, right? So aside this, another thing I noticed that the only hindrance I've noticed while working with this is that, you know, there are situations where I asked it to map out the process flow for me, but it couldn't actually go to visual or Lucy chart to create the process flows for me. That would have been awesome, right? But it hasn't developed capabilities to do that yet, right? So what do I mean? What does an onboarding process look like? Or better still, create an onboarding process for me and create a visual representation of the flow on visual or Lucy chart. Is it Lucy chart? Is it Lucy chart?
Hello, Femi. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Okay, so I believe we would be rounding up with these demos. Am I correct?
Yes, please. We're running up with this demo. We're not doing anything
Okay.
else. We're not going back to the.
Great.
We're not going back to the.
All right,
Okay,
that's fine.
Adeshola says, may I know the question you asked Copilot, which brought out the information on the PowerPoint document? Okay, good. I just asked it to create a presentation, right? So I just asked it to create the presentation for me, right? I asked it to create a better, so I asked it to first, working on an ARP project, I wanted to give me an approach to capture event requirement. You did that. And I asked it then to create this using PowerPoint for me. And then it did that. And I told it to now help me create the PowerPoint in itself. Then it now did that, right? So these are some of the things that I want to take into consideration. So let's see, create a lucid, is it lucid? I think it's lucid chart. Let me just use visual, just in case. Right? So these are just certain things, you know, that we take into consideration. While this is coming up, okay, it's almost here. Okay, let's see. Now I'll create a visual representation of this process flow using Microsoft Visual. Please hold on for a moment. All right, let's see if it will happen or if this will not happen. I doubt if it will create it, but it can create it. So while we do that, let's get right into, you know, another phase, right? Utilizing Power Apps to create, you know, application. So we already said Microsoft Power is a low, you know, code software that helps organizations, you know, create applications, right? So it's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind. So instead of going, there are different approaches. In fact, there's a course, there's a 3-hour course that'll teach you how to create applications on Power Apps, right? But I don't have the time to do that. So let's just get right into it, right? What we just want to show is how we will use, you know, Copilot, which is AI, to create an application for us, right? So I need to give it a good prompt so that I don't just, you know, so that I don't just create prompts that, you know, won't cut it or won't work, right? So good, let's do this. Create a leave, manage, or better still. We can either create a leave management. Let's do something more practical, something that I believe let's use this. Let's use create a leave management system that tracks employee leave requests, right? Available dates, and approvals, right? So good, I'd like you to create an application for us. It will take time, it will keep rolling. But let's keep it coming. Right? It's setting up my application for me and it's creating the data behind it. So let's keep it going. We're setting up your application and the data behind it. As we can clearly see on my screen, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. So give it time, give it time, give it time. All right, good. Leave request employee. You can see this, right? This is it. This is what this looks like. Can we do this within the 30-minute version? Yes, yes, you can. Right? Yes, you can. If you have any other information that you want to put it, or if you have any other information that you like this to process, you can just type this out. Right? If you have any other information that you want to impute, right? You think about it and you think, okay, you know what? It has put the name, it has put everything. I can see another chart. Oh, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done with this. Right? We're sorry, we're almost done. Right? So I'm just trying to show you how it works. So let me just do this. Let me just use this. Save and open the app, right? There are lots of things that you can still do with this, right? There are lots of things that we can still do with this. So let me just give you insights into some of this. So sorry. I'm so sorry it take you too much over time. It's so sorry. You know, we started about I think we started about 12 or 5 minutes past 12. So sorry. And the other classes will not be as stressful as this, right? So I'm so sorry. Right, we're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Right, we are almost done. Right, so it's still working, as you can see. Still trying to create my app. Right, thanks to Luafemi, I'm opening your app. Right, we're not limited to this. Right, there are lots of prompts that we can create. I mean, I can create an incident management solution. Right, there are this prompt I can create for organizations implementing IT service management. Right, I can create a service catalog, a service portfolio on Power Apps and publish it. Right, I can create this on Power Apps and also publish it. Right, these are things that we want to take into consideration. You can see that this is still loading. It's almost coming up. It's almost coming up. It's almost coming up. I don't think my internet is also helping this, or my system as well. I'm so sorry, so sorry. It's coming up. It's coming up. So you can still do other modifications, but I won't stress with the modifications. What I will just do is, you can see my screen. Chukuma says can't see my screen. Can another person see my screen? Okay, okay, see, okay, another person can see my screen. All right. Please bear with me. Oh, you can see it's probably my internet, or it's trying to process this. So please bear with me. Loading up is what I can see. Something is loading, is taking so much. Well, I know that it has to do lots of things at the back end, but let's just give it time, right? While we are waiting for this, let me also show this, so that while we are waiting for that, we're also coming to this. So now I want to create what? I want to create an agent, right? I want to create an agent. Let me skip. I want to, instead of using prompt, I can use prompt. Right, but instead of using prompt, let me use something more detailed, right? So I want to create an AI analyst, AI service desk analyst. Right? While this one is low, let me say this one is up and running. It's still trying to, okay, I think it's almost done. So while that is also, okay, perfect. Okay, it's up. All right, so it is up. Can you see what this looks like? Right, this is what the application looks like. So let's do this, right? I can still change the fields if I want to, as you can see on my screen. I can add a button to it. I can add any other thing I want to do it by just typing it here, right? It's very, very simple. It's very, very seamless. But because we don't have the time, this is my application right here. Let me filter it so that we see what the employee sees, right? This is what the employee screen is like. Let me see. Let me make it more so that we see what I'm seeing. Can you see my screen? I believe everyone can see my screen, right? This is what the employee sees. This is the employee screen, right? This is the leave request screen, right? This is where you request for your leave, right? The dates, the employee name, the end date, what type of leave. Are we together? This is where you check your leave balance, how many leave you've used, how many is remaining, and the likes. I hope we're still together, right? And this, as you can see, is the welcome screen. So now if I'm good and I'm fine, please note that we can change all of these images, right? You can edit the images, right? But I don't have time to go into all of those. But now that we are done with this, what I want to do now is publish it. These forms of apps are what we are combining in groups like a single app. Yes. Right? Yes. So what I want to do now is if I preview the app, let me preview the app. This is what the app looks. This is a single app. This is what the app looks like. right? This is me previewing what the desktop screen will look like. This is me previewing what it will look like on an iPad, right? And this is me previewing what it would also look like on my mobile device, right? This is what it would also look like on my mobile device, right? You can see it's pretty responsive. So now that I've seen this, if I'm fine with everything I've seen, what I want to do is what? I want to publish it. Right? When I publish it, that just means that what? The application will be what? Made readily available for everyone to use. Right? Just means this application will be made available for everyone to use. And after I've done saving, I can publish it. Publishing means I'm releasing it for use. Are we together? So this is simple. When I publish it, it means that it will be easily available to everybody within what? My organization. So if I publish it, they can see the new Leave app within our application page, within the organization. So what I mean by our application page, I'm saying if they come here and they go to all apps or more apps, they will see this Leave application. Are we together? Right? So this just shows you how easy it is, how AI is bridging the gap with respect to this development, with respect to deployment, with respect to local deployment, right? And please, it is not limited to this at all. Right? It is not limited to this at all. You can create an app that it can integrate into other applications. Right? But this is just to lay a bit of foundational knowledge into some of these things, right? This is just to lay a bit of foundational knowledge into some of these things. So it is very, very important. I know, right, Michael? I know, right? So instead of, I know that we can't take coding away from anybody, right? But Microsoft is doing a damn good job ensuring that what in the next future, in the next 3-5 years, trust me, right? For certain organizations in which their ecosystem is strictly within Microsoft, a good knowledge, a good platform app developer, power platform developer would probably see a job faster than someone who probably knows Python. Right? So these are certain things that we need to ensure that we have at the back of our mind. These are certain things that we need to stay ahead of the curve. Now that we've seen this in operation, let me just show you how to see how do you integrate this app to your website, your external facing website or your intranet. Oh, I'm almost done. I'm so sorry. My voice, I really, I'm just stating that it's in the long run, it's definitely possible, right? There's the power platform developers now. No, I'm saying if the ecosystem, no disrespect to whatever, no disrespect to developers out there. I'm saying I added a clause. I said if the organization dwells on the Microsoft ecosystem, right? It means everything revolves within the Microsoft environment and the Microsoft platform. Why not? Boss, why not? Right? It depends, right? I added a clause. But it's very, very important that we honestly take that into consideration, right? And yes, you can integrate this into your website, but why would you want to integrate a Leave application into your external facing website? Do you get? I think for a Leave application, it's more internal. So you probably want to integrate. You can definitely integrate this on your SharePoint site, which is easily accessible to everybody within the organization. I mean, it is easy, it is straightforward, and you can easily, yes, you can integrate it with other apps. You can definitely integrate it with other apps. Probably we'll do another session whereby we'll talk about that in detail as well. So one more thing so that I can leave everybody and we can call it a day, right? So let's just create AI agents. It's as simple as that. Let's create AI agent. So I want to create an AI agent that would be my first line of will be my analyst, right? The first line of response. So you have an issue, you have an incident, you have a service request, right? It will lead you and guide you with respect to some of the things that you need to take into consideration. But for me to do this effectively, I need to come up with a description that will make very, very good sense, right? That will make sense. So for example, let me just copy and paste something. Give me a minute so that we don't stress ourselves with respect to me just typing out everything. And if I had time, I would also just, if I had time, I would also just import a document. I can actually import a file as well to help me ensure that this is done effectively and efficiently. So what I want to do now is this. Let me just I need a page to copy something. So give me a minute. So I've copied this. Let me go here. So permit me to, I just want to show you guys this and we're done. I promise you we're done. Right? So this is what I copied this. So let me do this. So let me copy a good description of what I wanted to do. Right? This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to words help me respond, right? When it comes to, I didn't copy that. Well, let me do this. Please give me a minute. I don't know why my laptop started saying this. Probably the sites are too much. So get a good description, which I've done. Now give it instructions, right? So for the instruction, what I want to do, let me copy these instructions I got. So I'm teaching it how to manage incidents, how to respond to incidents, how to treat service requests. So this is me training it, right? This is me training my AI model, right? So let me do this. This is me training the AI model. So please, let's go back, right? What are the instructions? What are the things I want you to do? Right? This is what I want you to do. I've given you certain instructions. See, you can add knowledge. So for example, if I have my incident management process document of an organization where they've clearly detailed and depicted who's responsible for addressing certain incidents, who's responsible for addressing certain service requests, I can just upload these files here. It will read the files and then it will make it much, much better. So good. Now that I've done this, what I want to do is let me create this. Right? I'm almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Right? We're almost done. So I just want you to see that you can also create what? An AI model. And that's what we are creating. So let's see. And you see, this is much more seamless and straightforward than what our people are doing in the other class. Right? Here, just understand certain concepts, just understand what you need to do and how you need to approach it. And this is sorted. Right? So good. As you can see my screen, can you see? Everyone can see my screen, right? Can you see the agent is up and running? I believe you can see the agent is up and running. Right? So now let's get right into it. Right? So let's do this. Let me come here. Yes, no, this is good. This is what I want to click, right? I want it to have the ability to also orchestrate. So I'm also giving it the generative AI capabilities, right? Which is what I'm doing here, as you can see on my screen. Right? So I want you to have the ability to create new content. So that's what I'm doing on my screen, as you can see. So it's can you see it's enabled? So enable this. Once you enable this, right? Let's get right into it. Let's say hi. Hi, I have an issue with my internet connectivity. Right? As you can see on my screen, hi, I have an issue with my internet connectivity. It's reading, it's processing. Let me put, all right, good. Can you see, oh, I'm sorry to hear that you have anything, there are a few steps for you to take to troubleshoot, this issue. Check the modem, check this. You know why it's giving these answers for me? I haven't trained it effectively with what? Effective knowledge, right? If I had put in knowledge resource, that is from my SOPs, right? If I had trained it with relevant data from my SOP, from my incident management process, I can streamline its responses from our internal knowledge-based solutions, or probably our internal knowledge-based system. So it can go to the knowledge-based system, review the issues, review how relevant IT technicians resolve this, and then come back with a solution for you, right? This will save IT department a lot of stress. Now let's say that, okay, you know what? This hasn't helped with the issue I am facing. Can you escalate to somebody? Can you escalate this to somebody within IT? Right? As you can see how he's breaking down all of these things. It's very, very important that you understand this. This is how we work through time, right? Can you see escalating to a live agent is not currently configured, right? So you can create what? This brings me to another thing. You can create actions. There are lots of things that you can do here. It's mind-blowing. You can create actions, right? You can create the ability to talk to a live agent. You can create the ability to reach out to somebody via email, right? So see, it's limitless. What we can do here is see, we can do a lot. It's just for you to understand what you can do and how you intend to start approaching it, right? So because we don't have a lot of time, right? I'm just giving you an issue or a situation. So if I publish this now, for example, right? I can choose to publish it. If I publish it, it means it's available for everybody within the organization, right? I can integrate it within our application so that everyone can easily access this. It makes it easy. It makes service delivery more efficient and more effective, right? This is how we need to start thinking about this as we proceed. There are lots of settings that you still need to do, right? But this is just an overview of what you can achieve, right? With what? Copilot, with AI, right? You can build your own agent. You can build agentic AIs from this platform. You can build AIs that can access other applications and carry out actions from your Copilot Studio. It's as simple as straightforward, right? So it's very, very important that we have this at the back of our mind, right? So I have to now bring this to a close because I know that, everybody, I know that, we're tired or fagged out. I'm so sorry that I had to take a lot of time, but this is just to open your mind to what you're expecting with respect to this training sessions, right? Trust me, I have other colleagues joining the sessions coming, from the following months, and they would, they'll break down these concepts for you. They'll make it, very understandable, and then you can also practice on your own too, based on what we've just showed you, right? So I want you to open your mind, right, with respect to this. Don't limit yourself. Don't say because you don't have any coding experience and limit yourself to just asking ChatGPT questions and answers. Yes, that is fine, but trust me, we can go further, right? And that's why this introduction is for. And permit me to come to the end of this training session. I'm so sorry that we couldn't complete our slides. I'm so sorry that I had to also run some sessions with you guys. But I believe you understand clear directives, you understand your next line of action from this session. right? So permit me to stop sharing. Thank you very, very much. I do
Everybody,
hope
a
that,
round of applause for Femi. Everybody, a round of applause for Mr. Femi. Please go into the chat room. Femi, thank you very much for this. Femi, well done. Well done. Thank you very much. I think you've gone even past the expectations. So everybody, please let me say a big thank you to Femi for taking the time out to do this today. I mean, look at his handsome self here. So everybody, please say a big thank you to him in the chat room. Thank you, Femi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is just the first in the series of things that we will be doing. So while the people in the other room are trying to build Copilot, in this room, we are leveraging the platform that has already been built to be able to do stuff in an organization. So it's like what an analyst does versus what the developers do. Those guys in the other room are trying to build Copilot. You're leveraging Copilot to be able to get a lot of things done in your organization. So once again, thank you, Femi. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this. This has been an excellent session. I'm definitely interested in this class more than the other one. Now we're going to take the conversations further in the WhatsApp groups. Femi will be in the WhatsApp group. Different people will be there. We're going to have exercises on a weekly basis, so just so that everybody will remain on top of this. Remember, I showed you something around that MSI course for prompt management. I also shared something in the chat room with regards to a simple course on Microsoft Portal for just building your background around this particular thing. Every month, we're going to do something on Microsoft Copilot. Every month, we're going to do an additional tool. And every month, we're going to do something specifically around business analysis for different stakeholders. So you can always still get people to join finance, sales, marketing, and all those departments. So Femi, I mean, don't need to apologize. It's definitely understandable. This is day one, and there's definitely the possibility of going beyond the time as it is. So thank you. I'm sure it's been worth everybody's while. So we'll leave it to the Transformation College team. They will take the conversations further. They're building a WhatsApp community because the learning is not just, I mean, we're trying to turn you into an expert. You're not going to become an expert in 2 hours or 2.5 hours class. There's a lot that you're going to need to still do for you to get those remote jobs, for you to become an AI business analyst, a solid one, not a theoretical one. And that's why I'm happy that Femi was doing those exercises and all of us could see that this is not just about being able to verbally speak about Microsoft Copilot, is also just also being hands-on to be able to use some tools to do it. So once again, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. We appreciate you being here. And I'm hoping that even today's class has been valuable to you all. Thank you very much. God bless you. Yes, everybody. Thank you. So who's here from Transformation College? I think they'll please everybody. Michael said I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what that is. All right. So once again, thank you, everybody. Edith, do we hand over to you?
All right. Thank you so very much, Doctor, for joining us in today's class over here. You're always all over the place. I don't know how you do that. Anyways, Femi, Femi, it's been a wonderful session today. If we leave you, you will continue. A lot to give out, right? So, but thank you so much. And I believe everybody had value for their time today. So if you're here in this group and you're not in the WhatsApp group, like you're here right now in class and you're not in the WhatsApp group, please indicate in the chat room. And while that is going on, Mercy or Emmanuel, drop the link to the WhatsApp group right here in the chat room, so those people would join. All right. And the reason is because the training materials, the assessment links and what have you would be shared in the WhatsApp community for you to download and for you to take part in. And then those who are asking for the link or for the recorded version, we would upload it to our YouTube channel. And when we do that, the link will be shared in the community. But I would advise, strongly advise, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel So Mercy or Emmanuel, please share the link to our YouTube channel right here in the chat room. Subscribe so you get notified as soon as we upload the videos, right? And please, in the chat room, we'll be creating a different over the week, or maybe before the next class. We would open up the chat room so that people can interact, right? And if you have questions, we'd also have our trainers in the chat room to give their assignments as the time progresses, because we will not just be silent till the next class in February. There has to be activities to keep us busy, and keep us on our toes and getting ready for the next class. All right, so please, once we open up the group, and engage. And also, if you have not paid your registration fee, you have to do that before the next class, because the next class, we may be restricting it to only those who have made their commitment fee. I mean, like we said earlier at the beginning, this course is, if you would have to compare it with other classes or other programs, you'd see how expensive it would be, or it is. But please do pay your registration fee, and let's know how many persons out of the thousands that registered are really committed towards seeing this course to the very end of it. All right, so yes, we've come to the end of today's session, and I'm so excited because there are lots and lots ahead of us to learn. And we'll see you again in the class next month. Please engage in the WhatsApp community. So stay happy, stay blessed, and have a very productive and restful weekend. See you in class next month.